I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Absolutely fabulous weather. This is definitely the time you want to get out and enjoy it. Sunny skies this afternoon with highs in the low to mid 70s. Cool tonight, upper 40s to low 50s under clear skies, and more sunshine on tap tomorrow with a high near 70.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock, check if your money. Dow Jones down 465 points to 37,995. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. Hour of the Drive brought to you by Sanford Strawberry Jammin'. Saturday, May 11th, downtown Sanford, starting at the Farmers Market, where it'll be all things strawberry flavored, plus live music, kids activities, food trucks, vendors, and more.
Shot put on, rebounds there, they score! Teravainen with hard work out in front from Carolina. Jarvis holding, shoots, he scores! Jarvis with it. Svechnikov side left, they score! Sebastian Aho! As Martinook backs it in, he scores! Jordan Martinook with the steal and the finish! And it's 4-3 Carolina! What a comeback!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. What a day we have. What a day. We are 4 hours and 28 minutes away from the scheduled start to the Canes Game 3 against the Islanders in New York. And we are 4 hours and 58 minutes away from the NFL draft getting started and putting the Bears officially on the clock, even though they've been on the clock since the draft order was set. Heck of a day. One of the best sounds in sports.
My girlfriend hates it.
One of the best sounds. For a while, remember back before everyone just used the generic Apple ringtones? My text tone when I got a text was that exact thing for a while. Pick is in. Text is in. I would think it every single time. It was the joke. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's start with the Canes. What could this Game 3 be about? What could it be about? If you listened to the show yesterday or the day before, guess what we've pretty much agreed upon here at this show? Series is over, right? I've agreed on it. Dennis was the first to say it. We had Jamie Hirsch from the NHL Network on. She confirmed it for us. We said after Game 2, when the Canes did what they did, when they acted upon the Islanders the way they acted upon the Islanders in the last 3 minutes of that game, can the Islanders realistically fight back through that emotional torture? And we've kind of agreed upon no. The series is over. You're up 2-0. It's too much for the Islanders to be asked. So then what is this about? What is tonight about? What do you do when you have 2 more games to win in a series that we've decided is over already? It's about stepping on their gosh darn throat. It's about putting them out of their misery. It's about showing killer instinct.
Bury them.
It's about when coaches start giving speeches that sound like they're either motivating you for a game or they just watched a cool documentary on apex predators on Nat Geo. Right? Do you enjoy watching the life drain out of your opponent's eyes? Because that's what competition is, right? That's what competition is. You ready for a much lesser form, but I think it's a funny way to describe this. Anyone that's ever played fantasy sports on Yahoo, you get these little trophies, right? Oh, you had the highest scoring pickup from waivers, or oh, you've won 5 games in a row, and they give you a trophy. Every year, the favorite trophy, if I get it, which I play in enough leagues that I get at least one league every year. My favorite trophy is the one they call it na goodbye. And it goes when you eliminate one of your opponents. And I carry that one with way more pride than I carry any of the other trophies. It is competition. It is about eliminating your rivals. The Canes tonight, Series is over. We agree on it. Jamie Hirsch agreed on it. It's about how you handle the finishing move. You know what you should hear? Mortal Kombat. Finish him. And then you go out and you do it today. And then you do it again on Saturday. The question isn't, are you going to win? I think if you lose tonight, you still win the series. So the question isn't, are you going to win the series? The question is, do you take care of business and earn yourself some rest? Avoid further fatigue? Avoid potential further injury? Or do you play with your food? Or do you push it around on your plate? Like my 3-year-old, grab a chicken nugget and turn it into an airplane and whoosh. Do you play with your food? Let it linger longer than it should. Open yourself up to more of the unlikely. That's what I want to see tonight. I want to see, by the way, they did not do this in game 2. I want to see them play great hockey from the opening puck drop. Right? I don't want to I don't want them to have to taste their own blood before they start fighting back, you know? The legendary, if you've seen the movie Seabiscuit, right? He's got to get some mud kicked into his face before he starts really running. I don't want the Canes to be that. I want them to come out and be the thoroughbred running from the front and then just secretariat that bad boy and keep building and building and building the lead until you have to make sure you don't fall off the horse. That's what tonight is about. It's about killer instinct. Because guess what? It might not be the most important thing in the world in this series against the Islanders. It might not, right? You might be able to lose the next 2, tie the series back up 2-2, flip the switch against the Islanders, and go win the next 2 and end up winning in 6 games. But guess what? A series from now against the Rangers, 2 series from now against whoever else you might face in the Eastern Conference Finals, and darn sure in the Stanley Cup, if you have a chance to put a team out of their misery, that might be your only chance. Right? If you have that opportunity to make them drained of life, that might be your only chance. If you let them off the canvas, if you let them get up and keep fighting, that might be the difference. So you practice it now. Right? The coaching cliche is how you do anything is how you do everything. In more specific terms, how you play in the first round is a pretty good predictor of how you're going to play in the second, third, and fourth. The quality of your opponent should be expected to go up in the second, third, and fourth rounds of a postseason, but your play, your mindset, your outlook usually remains the same. Usually remains the same. Are there certain, legendary competitors that halfway through a postseason wake up? Sure. But there's a lot more examples throughout history of teams that have the right mental outlook, the right killer instinct from the opening puck drop of the postseason all the way through.
And whatever that the Islanders have said to themselves to try and convince themselves, like, hey, you know what? Game 2 is a little bit of a fluke. We should have won that game. Whatever glimmer of hope they've talked themselves into, destroy it today. Destroy it. Like, completely destroy any glimmer of hope that they have.
That's a good point. The radio hosts here in Carolina may have decided that the series is over. Game 3 might have the radio hosts on Long Island deciding that the series is over, because I'm sure they're bending it. They were up 3-0, and they're using every bit of spin zone to say this series isn't over. Game 3 could be the one where you eliminate all doubt.
Yeah, whatever lie you had to tell yourself in order to think, like, hey, we have a chance here.
Which, to be completely honest, if the Canes were down 2-0, we'd be doing it.
Of course.
We'd be sitting here working our – well, actually, game 1 really it was a stalemate and just be spin zoning it. And we haven't seen the best of Aho. We'd be spin zoning. That's what they're doing. After Game 3, eliminate all spin zones. Eliminate all spin zones. And after Game 4, eliminate all zones completely and go and get the sweep. Change your goals. I love goals changing for the better, right? Everybody in high school, what's your goal? Start on varsity. Once you start on varsity, want to play in college. Once you play in college, I want to be all conference. Like, when the goals keep changing, I want the Canes to be Make the postseason. All right, made the postseason. Win a couple. All right, you win a couple. Sweep. All right, Stanley Cup. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Miller Lending and Gordon Miller, my partners over there, want to keep reminding you that if and when rates drop, and there's predictions all over the internet that the mortgage rates, the interest rates will be capped and cut. If that happens, and you have been forced to lock in an interest rate over the past couple of years, and it's higher than you want it to be, Miller Lending can help you get out from under that rate. They can lower your monthly payment, which is what we're all trying to do. And even better, they won't make you dig into your pocket for closing costs and fees, the thousands of dollars that you're thinking you have to give up now in order for your monthly rate to go down. You don't even have to do that. It's something called a no closing cost loan. Gordon Miller's been doing it since 1987. Miller Lending can offer it to you right now. Give them a call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. That's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146. We're going to take a break. When we come back, not only is it a Canes game day, hockey night in Carolina, it's also draft night all across the NFL. What are the Panthers hoping for in round one? Round one, I should remind you, they do not have a pick. We look at it through the Panthers' eyes coming up next.
The NFL Draft.
Start the clock.
Let's go.
The picks will be in.
With the first pick.
It's NFL Draft Week. Find out if Drake Maye stays in the top 3. Will the Carolina Panthers make magic happen on day 2? Find the answers with us.
Let's give these people a show.
Insider reports and in-depth coverage all week long on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
What is a home? Most of us think of our homes as a place of safety and comfort for our families. My name is Keith Gregory, Vice President with Home Exteriors by Baker Roofing, but more importantly, a homeowner like you. We treat every home as the sanctuary it is, transforming and preserving homes with roofing, siding, window, door, and gutter services. I would like to invite you to join the thousands who have trusted us with their homes. Visit bakerroofing.com for a free consultation. That's bakerroofing.com.
We buy any car. Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because selling it yourself can be, well, you know.
Okay, I'll give you half now.
And?
No, and just half.
What?
Avoid the hassle. Come to We Buy Any Car instead. Get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
Yeah, I can't do half.
I could probably bump it up to like 50%.
Just go.
Okay.
Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com. Calling all Caniacs, Carolina Ale House is your official Canes watch party headquarters. Every away game, join the Canes to cause chaos at our downtown Raleigh location. This Saturday, April 27th at 2 p.m., we're expanding the watch party to Tucker Street with beer, the Storm Squad, and Stormy. Come watch on our giant TV, an indoor and outdoor party to celebrate the Canes as they take on the Islanders. Bring your favorite folding chair, grab an ice-cold R&D Storm brew, and watch the playoffs with us. All Caniacs and all ages are welcome. Carolina Ale House.
It's time to shop sparkling deals. It's Bailey's Fine Jewelry's multi-million-dollar inventory reduction sale.
Going on now.
Shop jewelry up to 60% off. Diamonds, watches, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and rings are all on sale. The perfect time to shop for Mother's Day, anniversary, or engagement rings without breaking the bank. Shop the largest selection of luxury jewelry for less at Bailey's Big Sale. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
It's playoff time in the NBA and the NHL. Baseball's in full swing, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Adam Gold here, and right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you make your first $5 wager, because you know me. Go to FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold to get started. FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. Then you can bet on anything. Slap shots, home runs, slam dunks, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. $200 in bonus bets await when you place your first $5 wager. Visit FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 and older and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness. But money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
The Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama.
That was last year. Feels like we've lived a life since Bryce Young was drafted
much
by
has
the Panthers.
happened. Golly.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, and that trade will still be felt this year and even next year with picks that were given up to move up to go get Bryce Young. That's that moment right there. The Panthers select Bryce Young is the reason why the Panthers don't have anything no picks to make today during the first round of the NFL draft. The Panthers' hopes today are simply that players that they don't like get drafted. That's all they can hope for. Every time somebody is picked and it's not somebody the Panthers like, they go, yay! And they just sit and watch. And then get ready to field calls for the 33rd pick later on in the night. But it is a bit more complicated than that. We know the positions that the Panthers need because we've broken down over the previous 10 days their entire roster. We know the positions they need, and we know the positions that they need to fix in the draft. Receiver, corner, edge, some would say interior defensive line. I think they're good there. But those, right, receiver, corner, edge rusher, that's what I'm looking at. So the easiest path to the Panthers having a successful draft is if there is a massive run on positions other than wide receiver, corner, and edge. Every time, and that pretty much goes without saying, right? So every time a quarterback is taken, the Panthers should celebrate a little bit. Every time an offensive lineman is taken, the Panthers should celebrate a little bit. Every time an off-ball linebacker is taken, a safety is taken, they should celebrate. A running back, if there is any, which there probably won't be, they should celebrate. Then they would get closer to their choice, their pick of the litter at a premium position that they need at pick 33. Matt Miller, ESPN NFL draft analyst, was with Mina Kimes, ESPN NFL analyst, and they talked about the dream wide receiver that could fall to the Panthers at 33.
I think it's Leggett. You have to help Bryce, and giving him someone who can body defensive backs that can win on slant routes. I think back to when Drew Brees had Michael Thomas, that guy who could just win on those quick hitters. He's going to be able to shield defenders from the ball and then make something happen after the catch. So I know they drafted Jonathan Mingo last year, didn't have great returns rookie year. And I think Leggett gives you so much more burst, so much more juice after the catch.
Yeah, he's sort of like budget Brian Thomas Jr. in a way. But I like it too. I like his fit with Deontay Johnson, who they've got. I think that's a complementary skill set. You talk about Leggett creating after the catch. Johnson's so good at getting open. They work different parts of the field. Both are just dramatically an improvement in terms of like the playmaking ability over what you had in the offense last year.
Xavier Leggett. That's who they think is the dream, falls to them. I've also seen him listed as a dark horse first-round pick. So it's like, which one is he? Is he supposed to fall to the second round, or is he not supposed to fall to the second round? Or does nobody really know? There's also that possibility. But here's the secondary, the other way the Panthers can have a successful draft, right? Because part of it is luck. If a player you love, just the other teams don't, and they fall to you, and you get to make the pick, and you have one of those picks, legendarily, this is one of my this is like a tradition on draft day. I have to bring it up. When it was a COVID draft, I believe.
Okay.
So the Vikings, it was Chris Spielman, it was Mike Zimmer, that little contingent were on all their Zoom calls, and it was being recorded by the NFL. And they knew they wanted a wide receiver, and they wanted Justin Jefferson. And they knew the pick right before them was Philly, and they knew they wanted a wide receiver. So they were waiting on pins and needles to see if they could get Justin Jefferson. And when the pick came in that the Philadelphia Eagles had selected Jalen Reagor, they couldn't help themselves but to ear-to-ear smile, which you don't see often when, oh, what dummies. They're leaving Justin Jefferson. And one of them literally says, put in the card, Justin Jefferson. They were so excited that their guy fell to them. Best case scenario is that happens every year, right? You identify your favorite player 10 picks before yours, and then 10 picks go by, and they aren't picked, and you're just like, ha, 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 what dummies. But if that doesn't happen, there's still a way for the Eagles to – sorry, the Eagles. Now I'm talking about the Eagles. There's still a way for the Panthers to have a successful draft. You just have to include a middleman, right? So let's say there's a huge run on wide receivers. And the top corners you have drafted on your board get drafted, and the edge rushers you have at the top of your board get drafted, but there's a huge value at quarterback or a huge value at interior defensive line or interior offensive line where you just spent $153 million on Hunt and Lewis.
One of those offensive tackles slips down.
Then you can still get your value at a position of need, but you need to introduce the middleman. You need to go call a team that needs one of those positions and milk them for all they're worth, get the future picks, trade back in the second, find the value somewhere else. So if you're a Panther, if you're in the Panthers organization, it's much easier to do option A than option B. It's much less of a flex by your GM to do option A than option B. Option B, there's moving parts. You need to not only evaluate a trade appropriately, but play the interpersonals of the back and forth negotiation, bringing in another team. How much information do you reveal to each team in a bidding war? You need to do all of that appropriately, as opposed to getting lucky and just sitting there and saying, Xavier Leggett, we have a first-round draft on him. Or Leggett, we have a first-round draft grade on him, and he's the 16th best player in the draft to us, and he fell all the way to us at 33. That's just, you celebrate. So as a Panthers fan, that's what you're rooting for. Mm-hmm. Pick the receiver you like. Pick the edge you like. Pick the corner you like. Pick whoever it is. And then just fingers crossed. Hope it's not a strategy, but it's all you have when you don't have a pick. And I said this earlier in the week. I think it's the best way to describe it. I think they'd like to trade into the first round. I think they can't afford it. I think they would like to trade into the first round. I don't think they have the resources to do so. Right? Just like any of us when you go looking for a new house or looking for a new car. You know what? You know where there's always the coolest houses when you're looking for a house?
Where?
Like $20,000 above your budget. Right? You set a budget. I'm just going to pick a random number. You set a budget at $100,000, right? Because it's nice and easy. I guarantee you the coolest house in the world is like $120,000. It has everything you want. It's the same in the draft. You have the 33rd pick. There's going to be 7 guys you like available at 20, and it's going to feel like they're all gone before 33. Unless you get lucky. Unless they pass on him. Unless the Eagles are dumb enough to take Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson.
A lot of people make dumb moves, but I think as well today, my gut just tells me we're going to see a ton of trades today.
I agree.
So
which makes it even more difficult to track.
Exactly. It's a difficulty to track, but also you never know. It's one of those players that like you said, that you really like. Heck, even one of the top corners, like a Kool-Aid McKinstry might slide to you at 33. And you're like, well, actually, we could get a wide receiver at 39. We also really need a corner, and one of the best ones is sitting there. We could take that too.
Yep.
It's always a possibility.
And you have to be ready to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be ready to pivot. The luxury for the Panthers is they do have that overnight to talk everything out.
Yeah.
Most teams have, for their first pick, have 15 minutes to get it right. The Panthers have hours and hours, right? So you can stay up late, you can sleep on it, you can wake up early and start it all over again and change your mind and do everything else you want.
You get a full day.
And you can field a whole bunch of calls, and you can try to pin teams against each other and then let it simmer and then call them back. Like, Dan Morgan's going to have to be a GM. Right, that's obviously what he is, but he's going to have to be that wheeling and dealing businessman that, they make movies about. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Actually, I'm going to throw this one out there to the brides and grooms. I know a lot of people are planning their weddings and stuff coming up here in the near future, maybe even within the next year. Are you looking for that unforgettable getaway and a fun time to celebrate your last shot before tying the knot? Head to Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. Bring your wedding party for that adrenaline-pumping day of clay target shooting in a stunning natural setting. Even the expert staff that they have at Deep River will guide you through an exciting and safe experience with everything that you need. Then afterwards, you can kick back in their beautiful outdoor pavilions where they can provide delicious food and drink while you relax with your closest friends. Make your bachelor or bachelorette party one to remember at Deep River Sporting Clays. Book today. Go to deepriversportingclays.com. Again, deepriversportingclays.com. Let the adventure begin.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We've talked about the Canes game tonight. We've talked about the NFL draft. Let's mix them together and make it a competition between me and Dennis. Let's see who can draft and Canes combo better. Yeah, you'll see what I mean. Stick around.
To tell you that Keno picks 20 winning numbers, we wrote a winning number of our own. Hit it, boys. You pick up to 10. Keno picks 20. It's easy to play for a whole lot of money. Winning numbers are everywhere with Keno from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win a prize range from 1 in 3.86 to 16.63. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. I have more windows in my house than doors, but if I wanted to change out windows, how long does this whole thing take?
So typical job, couple of days, 2-3 days, and that's complete. It's very unintrusive. A lot of these home improvement projects, it can take weeks or months. You can beautify your home. You can make it more energy efficient. You can make the windows that are a lot easier to use and clean, and you can do it quickly. It's 2 to 3 day job usually. 2 to 3 days. And how many different types of windows do you have? Where do I begin? We don't have that much time. We got colors, options. These things are custom made to your specifications, sized perfectly to fit the openings. Can you put a window where I don't have a window? We do it all the time. Unbelievable. Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham, aluminumcompany.com for windows, right? Absolutely. Indoors.
ESPN Bet is ready to take you through all the huge sports moments this spring. The exclusive sports book of ESPN has it all, including offers and promotions from Scott Van Pelt and Stephen A. Smith. There's no better time to be a sports fan. New users get $100 in bonus bets for making any sportsbook bet. Download ESPN Bet today. What a play. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career and they talked to me about it.
He was done in just months.
I did do it online.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at My Computer Career.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender. Get a great deal this spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a Trane.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Today is both Game 3 of the first round for the Canes and NFL first round draft day. Two things at once. So we thought we'd mix the two and draft Canes. And if you know me, everything is going to turn into a competition at some point in time. So it's between me and Dennis. Now, Dennis, here's how we're going to do this.
All right.
We have to pick who goes first, and then I'll explain what's going on.
Okay.
So I will write down on this sheet either a 1 or a 2. Look away. Look away.
What?
Look away.
Fine.
All right. So I've written it down. I will show everybody on our live stream. Are you going to say 1 or a 2? If you get it right, you go first.
All right. I'm going to go 2.
It is a 2.
Yeah.
There you go. You can see it on the YouTube stream if you're watching.
There it is.
So you get to go first. The way this works is
Nailed it.
It is the world's most simple fantasy hockey, right? We're just looking for goals and assists.
We're getting points tonight.
We're each going to draft 5. It is snake draft form, so you'll get the first pick. I'll get 2 and 3. You get 3 and 4, or 4 and 5, on and on and on and on. You can only, obviously, we can't have the same players on the same team, all those sorts of things. It's a basic draft, and then we'll revisit this tomorrow, and whoever has the most points wins. You get 1 point for an assist, 1 point for a goal. Any questions?
Nope.
I feel like I have to treat you like a numbers game contestant. Any last-second questions before we get started?
Do I get any skips? No.
1 pass. If you want it, you can pass.
Can I trade the pick?
If we come to you with a pick and you want to pass, that is fine with me.
Okay.
You just want to pass it on to me. All the players on the Canes are available. Just Canes. Don't bring Barzil over here or anything like that. Take it away.
All right.
Do you want to throw the pick is in?
No. The pick is in.
You don't want the doom doom
Okay,
doom
fine.
just for the first round.
Opener. Sebastian Aho. Straight down the middle here.
Why?
Because he's Sebastian Aho.
Yeah. But I feel like the first 4 picks could be because they are them. So pretend like Sebastian Aho. You're telling this to a San Jose fan.
Sebastian Aho because he's the team's leading scorer And I think he's going to build off of that late goal that he scored to tie the game in Game 2. I think he continues to build off that. I expect multiple points from Sebastian Aho tonight.
Fair. I actually kind of like that I get 2 and 3, by the way.
I know. I'm kind of like,
it was done randomly. I'm taking Gensel first.
Okay.
I'm see, I don't want to fully explain my theory to drafting Gensel because that might tip off a future pick.
Other than he's really good.
Well, he's really good. He's I mean, he scores in the playoffs quite often, and he tallies points in the playoffs quite often. And he scored an empty netter, which sometimes it's like a free throw in basketball, right? You just need to see the puck hit the net, and then all of a sudden it's all good. So he had a little stank on it too.
Okay.
Flipped it up there a little bit. I think he's going to come back trying to prove a point to the Islanders. The Islanders, they were a little chippy after the Gensel goal.
That's a polite way to say it.
I was going to say I didn't.
I was going to say butt hurt, but that's fine too.
Yeah, that works. Salty. I think Gensel, message received.
Yeah.
And message response on the way.
Mm-hmm.
So Gensel is my first round pick. My second round pick.
Okay.
Playoff Jarvie.
Jarvie. Okay, gotcha.
Playoff Jarvie. His aggressiveness, I think, leads to 2 points. He's in the mix seemingly in everything when he's on the ice. His energy is high. I like playoff Jarvie.
Yeah, I told you the other day you're gonna love playoff Jarvis.
Yeah. It's and you're not wrong.
Yeah, I was like, you're really going to like
and
playoff
you're not
Jarvis.
wrong.
All right, so my next pick, I guess my second round pick, I'm going Andrei Svechnikov. I feel like him playing alongside Aho and Gensel, tons of power play time. The guy, even though he had technically 0 shots on goal, still firing a lot of pucks towards the net. Give me Svechnikov.
It was between him and Jarvis for my second rounder.
Yeah, I mean, the first 4 guys picked were the first 4 guys on my big board.
Yep.
So that's pretty straightforward.
That's why I said, the explanation for the first 4 could be, why'd I pick Aho? Because he's Sebastian Aho. Why'd I pick Gensel? Because he's Jake Gensel. They're the obvious ones. Now we get into, the gut feelings, your instincts, and it's not as obvious.
My next one, I'm going to go with Teuvo Teravainen on my next one, because I feel like the line that he is on, because I think, obviously, they're going to do everything they can to stop Aho's line. I think because Stahl's line is going to create so many opportunities as well. I think Teuvo Teravainen is going to get some opportunities here, especially on the power play tonight as well.
I'm going to take the first defenseman.
Oh, okay. Who you got?
Give me Shea.
Oh, okay, fine.
Here's why. I think with Pesce's absence, Shea is going to be on the power play, right? He is going to be out there. They're going to give him all the opportunities. And I'm going to throw this out there also. With the Islanders' chippiness, saltiness, whatever you want to call it, wouldn't be surprised if they're called for a decent amount of penalties in this one if they're pushing that line.
Mm-hmm.
And meaning not pushing pushing the boundary on what is a penalty and what isn't, trying to massage that a little bit. I think that means a lot of power play opportunities. I think Shea's going to be out there quite a bit because he's not going to be playing his traditional role on defense.
Okay.
So Shea scores power play opportunities. Next up, I have 2 long shots that I really want.
All right.
I'm debating whether to take them in the 4th and 5th round or just take one of them.
Okay.
I'm going Kuzi.
Kuznetsov, okay.
Because he is the one who, after game 1, was like, this is how we do it in the postseason, right? We're not happy. It's not acceptable. I think he's trying to impart, because he is a guy with a cup, trying to impart a certain amount of killer instinct on the team. And we've already established that this game is about, do the Canes have killer instinct? So I think he's gonna show his teeth early in this one. He's gonna be growling at him.
Okay.
He's gonna be aggressive.
I hope he does do that. All right, so I get the next 2 picks, correct?
Yep, and these are your last 2
These
picks.
are my last 2 picks. Give me Brent Burns. Brent Burns did not have a really good game 2. Did not have a good game 2. Did not have a good game 2
You
at
can't
all.
quit Burnsy because you picked him for first goal of first goal scorer. Now you're getting him back on your team.
Yeah, we'll get him more that first goal scorer here actually in a little while. But give me Burns. I think he has a bounce back game today. He's obviously skates on that top power play unit, but I think it's someone that's going to might get a couple of assists today. And then I'm going to give you Martin Necas. Give me Martin Necas as my final pick.
If I didn't go with my long shots, Nate just was going to be like my more down the middle pick.
Okay.
He just gets a lot of opportunities. He's active. He's Johnny on the spot a lot too.
Yeah.
Where puck just finds him. My final pick. I'm trying to complete my roster in a nice way here.
Okay.
I'm down to 2.
All right.
Give me Stefan Nason.
Nason. Okay. He was someone I was thinking about on this one.
Who did you have anyone else on your board that wasn't picked?
Jack Drury.
Jack Drury.
Because he has points in each of the first 2 games. They both come in late game situations.
I had Martinook on there that I was considering.
Again, Marty in there.
I was like, how can you not follow up a game winner with something, right? It's just vibes at this point.
All right, so your 5, Jake Gensel, Seth Jarvis, Brady Shea, Evgeny Kuznetsov, Steph Nason. My 5, Sebastian Aho, Andrei Svechnikov, Teuvo Teravainen, Brent Burns, Martin Nagys.
We should have thought about this beforehand, but if you have a good what we could put on the line for this, go ahead and tweet it at us at 999thefan.
Oh, okay.
We might use it, we might not. It'd have to be really good. We didn't agree to it beforehand, which makes it tough to set up the draft and then decide what we're betting. But at the very least, we have bragging rights, and tomorrow we'll revisit, total it up, and see which one of us was right. I have to admit.
What if it's a tie?
Then double or nothing for
game 4? All right.
Then double or nothing for game 4.
Deal.
That's the most obvious thing in the world. By the way, text keyword KING, K-I-N-G, to 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326 to enter for a chance to win a $25 Smoothie King gift card. The keyword to text in is KING, 919-860-5326, and the chance to win a $25 Smoothie King gift card. By the way, you heard us mention just that first goal scorer thing. Between 4:30 and 5 today on the show, we are going to take callers. We want 3 of you. We need 3 contestants. We can take more callers if you just want bragging rights. But we have the opportunity for 3 of you to be contestants for first goal scorer. What you have to do is call in and choose the player and the period for the Canes' first goal of the game. We're doing this throughout the postseason. If you get it right, you get a signed puck. We have a couple of different options, but they are a lot of your favorite Canes. We have them on signed pucks, and you will win one of them if you call in. We'll let you know when during that kind of 4:30 to 5 o'clock time here on the show, and you pick the player and the period in which the first goal for the Canes is scored today. We'll give you our picks. We'll have a fun time with it. That's coming up later on. Right now, you know who wasn't picked in our draft? Tony DeAngelo. He's coming in for Brett Pesce, or expected to. They've kind of hinted at it and said that's why he's here. But they didn't have a morning skate today, so, I guess you got to wait for the official double stamp and triple stamp. DeAngelo's role in this one. First of all, let's hear from DeAngelo himself. Here he is on coming in for Pesce.
Yeah, it's good. It's never good when you lose, especially one of the best players on the team and a big part of our team. So it's no good there. But hopefully I can come in and try to pick up what he's been doing and just do a good job and help the team win.
I think it's interesting. Come in and pick up what he's been doing because they do not play a similar game. So it's almost like come in and pick up the quality of what he's been doing, but maybe not exactly the things that he's been doing because you're just inherently different players. I think the best way to describe it, and I've been talking about this, is DeAngelo plays on the power play, Pesce plays on the penalty kill. I wouldn't say one of those styles is better than the other, but I would say that Pesce is pretty darn good at what he does. DeAngelo, at times, has been pretty darn good at what he does. Here's more from DeAngelo on having playoff experience, not just in the NHL, but with Carolina in the past.
Yeah, I'm not worried about high-pressure situations, to be honest with you. But you just got to go out there and play. It's a little bit different, a little less risk, I guess, to each person's game. But for the most part, just going to go out and play the way I usually do and hopefully get some results.
His role is interesting to me. I think his role is very much like call me back later. And what I mean by that is he'll skate a shift, right? Probably with Shea. And then we'll have to ask Rod, okay, What are you doing with the next shift? And then he's going to skate the next shift, probably with Shea, and it's going to be, all right, are we like it's very much in flux. There's nothing set in stone for the game. There are players on the Canes that if they have, 3 bad shifts to start, you're just like, oh, darn. Well, you're still going, right? It's like we trust you to turn it around. If DeAngelo starts slow, I think his ice time could be extremely low. If he starts well, right, or his mistakes don't cost them and he gets a chance to play through it a little bit, he might play more and more ice time. It's actually predicting Tony DeAngelo's role, I think, is a bit like everybody trying to predict how the draft is going to go tonight. And what I mean by that is, like, there's no way an insider or an analyst can know what the Bears are going to do at number 9 if the Bears don't know what they're going to do at number 9.
Yeah.
Right? If they're still indecisive, then there's no way, like, Mike Tannenbaum, ESPN analyst, knows. I'm just picking a random one out of the blue. So it's almost like, what's Tony DeAngelo's role going to be? I'm sitting here going, I don't think I can tell you that because I'm not 100% sure Rod knows it yet. He's got to see how it goes. Similarly to how the Bears have to see how the first 8 picks go. Right? It might be they want Rome Odunze. But if Rome Odunze gets drafted 7th, now they're looking to trade back. They don't know what they're going to do yet. What's Tony DeAngelo's role going to be? I don't know. Does he play great in his first 2 shifts? Are him and Shea working well together? Then he might play a lot of ice time, and it might be more of a 1-for-1 swap. However, if he goes out there and he's rusty and he turns it over at the midline and it leads to an opportunity, that guy might play 8 minutes. His role, I believe, is TBD. To be determined. Check back in with me later.
And you know that the Islanders are going to try and go after him as much as possible. Because like, you know what? That's their 7th guy. He's out there playing. If we can get our top line out there any chance that he's on the ice, we're going to try and take advantage of that anytime that we can.
And quite honestly, like, not a surprise, right? Tony DeAngelo knows that, right? He's out there going, all right, they're going to try to take advantage of me. It's like being the corner. Again, I keep coming back to football because it's draft day, but it's like being the corner opposite of J.C. Horn for the Panthers when Horn is healthy. You go into that game knowing if they take a shot, it's probably going to be against me. Tony DeAngelo goes into the game knowing they're going to do what they can to put me in precarious situations, and I have to be able to step up and play. And trust me, Rod Brindamore will be watching with a very, very, very close eye. Not just for even like how much will he play the rest of the game, but for will Scott Morrow end up getting some kind of an opportunity later in the postseason if Pesce's injury is long-term. Right? It's the postseason, but it's also an audition.
I mean, there are ways you can cover up. There are ways you can mask it. It's harder to do on the road than it is at home, but there are ways you can mask it and cover it up. If
100%.
If DeAngelo becomes a liability.
Whoever is that 6th defender they'll be using the tricks of the trade, the wily veteran tricks to hide them. And that's what part of why during our draft I picked Shea, because I do think they want to get his minutes in there, and if that pairing isn't playing as often on the ice, if their shifts are a little bit quicker, I think they're going to use him more and more on the power play to get him onto the ice and let him have his impact on the game. Should be a fun one, though. You know what we also are waiting to hear?
What's that?
Who's going to be in goal?
Yeah. We'll hopefully know at about 5:15.
5:15 is when Rod is scheduled to speak to the media. No morning skate, so they're not tipping their hand there, although I would guess that it'd be Pyotr Kochetkov and Freddie Anderson.
Yeah.
And which goal are they in? I know it tips a little bit, but the opportunity is still there. If metaphorically there was something forcing you to make a choice, prediction, not a choice. This isn't what you would do. This is what you think the team is going to do. Who gets the start between the pipes?
I think they go Freddie.
You think they're rolling with Freddie?
I think they go Freddie. If it were me, I would probably go Kochetkov in this one. But my guess is they go Freddie today, and they probably go Kochetkov in Game 4. That's my guess.
I think that's.
I would flip it personally.
I would flip it also, I don't see why you wouldn't. Like, Freddie has obviously proven he's one of the best goaltenders, if not the best goaltender, when he's exceptionally rested and having watched a game. So why wouldn't you give yourself the opportunity to have that Freddie if you've already decided you're going to go 1-1, which I do think is the logical way to go about it, right? Games 3 and Games 4, both on the road, kind of a short turnaround. I think the one thing that they have decided, and probably decided long ago, is Kochetkov was going to start one of them. Right, either 3 or 4. So I don't see why you wouldn't go to Kochetkov now and then flip it over to Freddie for Game 4. And we talked about it. I'm trying to think of who. It was Walt Ruff when we were out at PNC before Game 1, or at the arena, outside the arena before Game 1. Before Game 2.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah,
Game 1 was on a weekend. Anyway. He basically brought up that kind of the way it worked during that little rotation. It almost seemed like Freddie was the home goalie and Kochetkov was the away goalie.
Yeah.
Right? It just happened that way. So now you're going on the road. Starting Kochetkov just makes a lot of sense to me.
It does.
It makes a lot of sense to me. And also, and I said this yesterday, don't give back your advantage. Part of the weird part of sports is something that seemed like it was a obstacle for most of the season turns into an advantage, right? It seemed like it was an obstacle that Freddie Andersen missed 3-4 months with a blood clotting issue, right? Oh, you had to overcome it. You didn't have your number one goalie, all these things. Well, now guess what? Now it's an advantage because you have Pyotr Kochetkov, who, by the way, is still technically a rookie, right? Like,
yeah, technically.
playing so darn well that you have 2 guys you can trust in Game 3 of a postseason series. And not just you can trust, but you kind of want to trust. Right? I think there's a lot of teams that have one guy that's like, that's who we want to trust. They have another guy that they're like, if we have to, I can trust. And then they might have a third, emergency situation. I think the Canes have 2 guys they want to trust. They've earned it this year. So going to Kochetkov just means that Freddie's going to be more rested. I think, if it's not Kochetkov tonight, I don't think it's going to do him in by any counts. They've already played well. Freddie's obviously playing well. But I do think it would be a wrong decision to throw Freddie out there tonight again. Because then you have to go to Kochetkov on the next one because of the short turnaround, and it's the whole thing. Kochetkov tonight, I think, is logically, when you connect the dots, the best way to go about it. And I would consider making sure you get Kochetkov, if the series goes 7 in the second round, 2 starts.
Maybe.
And I wouldn't shy away from 3. As unorthodox or as unconventional as it is, well, this season was unconventional between the pipes for the Canes. You had your starter miss 4 months and then played 10 games every other to head into the postseason. It's unconventional times call for unconventional measures.
I know we talked with Jamie Hirsch from the NHL Network about this yesterday.
Super against it.
And I brought up how the Boston Bruins are going with Swayman and Allmark. They're 2 goalies. They rotated and went Game 1, Swayman won. Went to Allmark Game 2, lost. Went back to Swayman Game 3, they won. So they're up 2-1 in their series against Toronto. I mean, so they're kind of sticking with it. But I don't know. The rotations worked for you this year. I have no problem with the Canes sticking with it.
The rotation has worked, and as similar to the DeAngelo thing, similar to the draft thing, if Kochetkov goes in there and gets lit up, no harm. Like obviously that game would be the harm.
Yeah.
But it's like you go back to riding Freddie and using Kochetkov more as a traditional 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that says because you plan to do it this way, you have to do it that way. But I do want to see them plan to get Kochetkov involved because I think it's an advantage for the Canes.
By the way, give me a prediction for tonight.
Who's going to win?
Yeah, give me a score.
We'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to it.
All right.
That's a tease.
Oh, okay.
The score, you'll have to stick around to find out.
Oh, come on.
I mean, you can't reveal everything.
I guess.
Got to keep some things close to your vest. But I will say this: we'll and you'll have to as well before the end of the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I already have mine ready to go.
So do I. But I'm not gonna Not going to reveal. I'm like an 8-year-old right now. I know something you don't know.
You're like a head coach of a college team.
I know something you don't know.
I'm not going to let anyone just come even look at practice.
I mean,
some way, shape, or form.
This is kind of funny because I'm having this debate right now in a group chat. So I'm in a dynasty fantasy league with a bunch of buddies.
Sounds right.
Which is you keep your team year over year. You draft only rookies. Super nerdy. But some guys in that league, we've also done the nerdiest thing you possibly can do, which is we rank the top 10 quarterbacks before the draft every year. On our own system, 1 through 5, 1 being franchise quarterback, 5 being bust, 2 long-time starter, 3 long-time backup, 4 short-time backup. You're out of the league in 5 to 7 years. And we go down to decimals. There's explanations. We share it with each other before the draft. We have a spreadsheet. We revisit it year over year to see how good we are. Again, super nerdy. But now, because we're in this dynasty league, one of them doesn't really want to do it because he feels like he would give us too much insight into what he thinks of quarterbacks for this dynasty league. And I feel very much like a GM must feel today, where it's like they don't know, we know they know that we like J.J. McCarthy, so we're going to pretend like we really like Bo Nix, so then we'll throw him off the scent, and all the while we're trying to draft Joe Alt. And it's like, what is going on? But those games are happening all over the place right now. So am I going to reveal to you my pick for the Canes? No, I am not. Maybe because we have another draft of some kind coming up later, and I don't want you to know who I'm going to draft. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll be back. We'll be back right after this. Football at 4, obviously have to do with the Canes, the Panthers, the Canes, both involved in the draft coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Robert in Raleigh, listening on 99.9 The Fan. What's up, Robert?
I got to go. Leftovers, macaroni and cheese. Michelle, I know you don't eat leftovers. My wife grew up eating leftovers. She'll bake a peach pie from scratch, have one piece, and then it's old. And I've heard you talking about where the best pizza is from. If you've not had Pepe's, Sally's, or Modern Pizza, they're all right there in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Dude Perfect here. Power up with the new smoothie we created with Smoothie King. It's loaded with pineapple, banana, kiwi apple juice, and more. Straw me, boys. Perfect shot. Get the Dude Perfect smoothie only at Smoothie King.
The future of medicine is here at QC Kinetics. QC is the nation's leader in the most exciting revolution in pain management we've seen in decades, regenerative medicine. If you are tired of achy joints, if your joint pain is keeping you from doing what you love, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Surgery, steroids, drugs, these are no longer your best options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative treatments that deliver lasting results. We're talking natural biologics, using your body's own power to repair and restore damaged tissue. QC Kinetics is under the leadership of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Sheencup. Dr. Sheencup is a pioneer in this field with 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, and publishing. He wants to get you relief with a needle, not a knife. Call QC Kinetics now to learn more about some exciting options. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending in Cary. Date the rate, marry the house. A phrase often used by realtors to describe the difference between keeping your new forever home as opposed to your mortgage rate, which you'll only keep until something better comes along. Kind of like speed dating. A recent study by the Wall Street Journal further supports this notion by finding the average life of a loan to be less than 4 years. Their suggestion? Find a no-fee loan, which is exactly what Miller Lending has been telling you since 1996. With no closing costs of any kind, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance each time something better comes along. So while builders promote buy-downs with over $10,000 in closing costs, or lenders advertise crazy low rates with even more, Miller Lending continues to be the leader in the no-cost mortgage. So before you throw away thousands of needless fees, pick up the phone and call your local neighborhood lender, Miller Lending in Cary, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146.
April is here. Time to call Window Nation. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. Plus, save even more with no interest or payments for 24 months. Don't miss out. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
See Star Wars Return of the Jedi made even more exciting as the North Carolina Symphony plays John Williams' thrilling score live. Thursday, May 2nd at 7:30. Friday and Saturday, the 3rd and 4th at 8 at Mimandi Concert Hall in Raleigh. Tickets at ncsymphony.org.
It's Truck Month at your local Ram dealer, and now's the time to get great deals on our award-winning lineup of trucks. At Ram, all we do is trucks. Maybe that's why Ram is the most awarded light-duty and heavy-duty truck brand over the last 5 years. Ram trucks feature innovative technology and uncompromised power and dependability that give you the power to strengthen your truck game. Go to ram.com for great deals and hurry in for the best selection of trucks during Ram Truck Month. Based on total full-size pickup awards 2019 to 2023 CYTD, based on standard and available features offered.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Shoot! He scores!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
He scores!
WCMC Holly Springs. The Canes light the lamp. Here, 99.9 The Fan.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. What a pretty afternoon. Hopefully you get a chance to get out and enjoy this gorgeous weather. We'll see highs in the low to mid 70s under sunny skies. It's cool tonight, upper 40s to low 50s, and a beautiful start to the weekend tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies with highs near 70. We stay dry and mild through the weekend.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 374 points to 38,086. Market update brought to you by the Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. This hour of the drive brought to you by Sanford's Strawberry Jammin', Saturday, May 11th, downtown Sanford, starting at the Farmers Market, where it'll be all things strawberry flavored, plus live music, kids' activities, food trucks, vendors, and more.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
Football at 4. Here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. There's kind of a theme for today's show. We have the Canes game tonight. We have the NFL draft tonight.
Let's go.
I'm not sure that my brain is even capable of separating the two. They're just in a blender right now getting mushed around.
You'll be fine.
I'll be calling the Canes the Panthers. I'll be calling the Panthers the Canes. I'll be... It's like someone's going to score in the game tonight. I'm going to scream touchdown. It's just the things are going to they're jumbled.
I did Storm Watch and Aftermath early preseason game when the Canes played the Florida Panthers. Mm-hmm. I said Carolina Panthers about 17 times.
Yes. I mean, if the Panthers, the Florida Panthers get involved, then just consider me
just done.
Yeah, I'm going to have to script the entire show. I'll sit here and read. So anyway, I'm looking for ways to mix the two, and I started thinking to myself, the Panthers are kind of at rock bottom, right? They were the worst team in the NHL. See, I was just about to do it. That was completely unintentional. They were the worst team in the NFL. Yeah, exactly. Here's your sign. That was they were the worst team in the NFL last year. All right, let's reel it back in, Tim. And it wasn't that long ago that the Canes were pretty close to rock bottom also, right? Less than a decade, right? You're looking at 7-8 years ago. They were kind of perennial bottom feeders. So is there something the Panthers, looking at a draft, looking at the weekend where they're supposed to build value and level up, is there something the Panthers can do to follow the Canes' lead to eventually get to where the Canes are now, which is a legitimate contender for all of the ultimate prizes in your sport? I do think there's something they can learn. And the basis of it is this. The draft is the easiest way, the most logical way to get your core, to get the players that you want to build around, and more importantly, the players that make others want to play with you and for you. Okay? Choose your building blocks. You may have to move on from some good players if you think there's great players behind door number 2, right? Like choose your core, and then and choose your decision makers, and then that is what everything else stems from. I went back and looked. These are all of the Canes that are still on the Canes now that were drafted by the Canes prior to 2017, so the 2016 draft or earlier. A 2015 second-rounder by the name of Sebastian Aho, a 2013 third-rounder by the name of Brett Pesce, and a 2012 fourth-rounder by the name of Jacob Slavin.
All pretty core guys.
Though, I mean, that is the definition of. And in a funny way, also seventh-rounder of 2010, Freddie Anderson, but it didn't work out, and he was drafted again in 2012 because they couldn't come to an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
So those three guys, Aho, Pesce, Slavin, are the only players that were drafted by the Canes 2016 or earlier that are still there. That's core, right? That's your best forward and your best defenseman and another pretty good defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have your core, it's about supplementing, and the draft is still a part of that. Get lucky, right? Get a top pick, get a generational player, Andrei Svechnikov, not breaking any Not breaking any news there, right? Like, oh, you want us to draft at the top during a draft where there's a couple of kind of very, very, very talented prospects that gets everyone excited? Yes, do that.
Yeah, you hit in the draft lottery to get second overall. Yes.
Yes, if you can somehow orchestrate that, I would suggest doing it. I was just listening to a podcast with a guy that was like a startup guy, and he had hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay.
And the interviewer was asking him about, like, what was it like when the money hit your account for the first time? Were you just refreshing? He was like, yeah, you know what? It was pretty cool. Everyone should do it if they can. And it's just like, what's it like to get it, win the lottery and get a great prospect at the top of the draft? Every team should do it if they can. So that's one part. But also, Natchez in the 17 first round.
Yeah.
Jarvis in the 21st round, the 2020 first round.
Mm-hmm.
Keep building with the draft. Hit on some role players. Drury in 2018 in the second. Kochetkov in 2019 in the second. You start putting together this core, and then suddenly players want to play with you. Then suddenly Dmitry Orlov is one of the best defensive free agents on the market, if not the best defensive free agent on the market, and he is choosing to play with the Canes, right? And then you have guys that are signing contracts that are long-term with the Canes rather than just the most money they can get right now. You don't have to overpay for free agents to get them to come play for you, right? In total, players drafted on the Canes roster right now, that the Canes drafted: Aho, Pesce, Slavin, Natchez, Svech, Drury, Kochetkov, Jarvis. It's a very good team.
It's a pretty good group.
It becomes an elite contender when you mix in Burns, Martinuk, Teravainen, Stahl, Gensel, Nason, Kuznetsov, Shea, Orlov, Chatfield, and those guys were acquired in part because it looks so much darn fun playing with the group we mentioned first.
And a lot of those guys were traded for, but also good business decisions.
Yep.
Like, we could trade for these guys young and then have them for a long amount of time. And look at Teuvo Teravainen, won a Stanley Cup in Chicago.
True.
Jordan Stahl won a Stanley Cup in Pittsburgh.
And that's the other thing that I think the Canes are prioritizing, which is, have you won a cup somewhere else, right? Teravainen, Stahl, obviously the older guys, and then Gensel, Kuznetsov, Orlov, all these guys have won cups elsewhere. The point being is this. This is what I think the Panthers can learn from. The best way to put your core together is through the draft. And your decision makers, meaning Canales and Morgan, can take a page out of the Rod Brindamore, Don Waddell playbook, which is decide which very few from the previous regime you want to include in your plans. Aho, a previous regime guy. Slavin, a previous regime guy. So looking at the Panthers, that might be Derek Brown. That might be J.C. Horn. That might be Bryce Young. You make the decisions on which very few of those guys you want to build around moving forward, and then you start the supplemental process and you start adding all the others and others and others. But I do think a lot of it starts with the draft.
Mm-hmm.
So do not take this weekend lightly.
And something to keep in mind as well is, like you mentioned, like Slavin, Pesce, and Aho, none of those guys were first-round picks. Like
True.
you said, Kochetkov, Drury, none of those guys were first-round picks. But also, we talked about it a lot last week with the end of the regular season. Who do we see come up and play? Scott Morrow, not a first-round pick. Jackson Blake, not a first-round pick. Bradley Doe, late first-round pick. And guess what? They're the next guys that you come in. It's like when some of these other guys, age out or phase out, however you want to describe it, you have the next group of guys ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
That's building through draft. But it's also, I think this also reflects upon how the Carolina Hurricanes have a plan. They have a plan of who they want. There's continuity, alignment, I guess you could say.
Hey.
There's the word. But there's continuity and a plan from front office to head coach.
And a belief and a trust.
Exactly. And what have we seen in Carolina? Dundon and Tepper bought their respective teams basically the same time. The start of the 2018 season.
It takes some people longer to figure it out.
Yeah, and you know what? The Canes have had one coach, one general manager. Since Tepper took over, they've had now their third general manager, and he's fired 3 coaches, and now he's on to his 4th coach that he's hired, and that doesn't even count the interim coaches either. So, like...
Stability.
Exactly, stability.
Yeah.
It matters so much.
And part of that is, like, Rod and Waddell have drafted guys that have developed very quickly. The Jarvises, they've also drafted guys that have developed a little bit slower, but you trust them to make the right moves in their development. Same has to be true with, you have to give somebody patience with the Panthers. That's one thing you can learn. I don't know if it's Dan Morgan, it's Dan Morgan. You hope it is, but you have to give somebody patience to take small steps, and eventually end up with a big goal, right, or something a little bit more substantial to stand on. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of small steps to a big goal, Capital Financial Advisory Group wants to help you take all of those small steps on the way to retirement, but not just to retirement, through retirement. Right now, go see Coach Pete's giant 8-foot whiteboard so you can physically see your financial plan come to life with a process designed to remove the complexities and confusion that oftentimes come with retirement planning. Coach breaks it down in 3 easy colors: red, yellow, green. Curious to see for yourself? Coach Pete is giving away 10 golden tickets to get you some of his best-selling books, plus box sets that have workbooks and DVDs, as well as a $1,000 consultation process that takes the worry out of retirement planning so you can enjoy peace of mind about your financial future. Coach Pete will make sure your plan is reviewed, analyzed, and seal it with the famous Coach Pete stamp of approval. Make sure to get the second opinion you deserve, because if things aren't right, it's vital to learn about the issues sooner rather than later. Again, those 10 golden tickets he's giving away with that whole $1,000 value, you have to call in right now, 800-691-3215, and make sure they know we sent you from here on The Drive on 99.9. Let them know Tim sent you when you give them a call, 800-691-3215, or if you're more a texter than a caller, that's fine. Go ahead and give them a text to 600-700, 600-700. All the text needs to say is my name, T-I-M, Tim, to 600-700. That text will be all you need to get hooked up. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have the Canes Cup check-in, getting you ready for Game 3, and more. Hurri-Cons and Cons, Hurri-Confidence Meter. A lot of Canes talk coming up.
Canes fans, Game On.
Let's go, Canes!
Let's go, Canes!
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Let's go, Hurricanes!
Go, Canes!
Let's go,
Canes! Gensel with a second try. Swim against it. They score! Rebound score. Seth Jarvis. What a save by Anderson.
Ride with us for every heart-stopping game. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Get loud for me. To tell you that Keno picks 20 winning numbers, we wrote a winning number of our own. Hit it, boys. You pick up to 10. Keno picks 20. It's easy to play for a whole lot of money. Winning Winning numbers are everywhere with Keno from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win a prize range from 1 in 3.86 to 16.63. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Pulling up to Mickey D's just for drinks? Oh yeah, that's me. Nothing extra, just perfection and a straw. Coming in hot for the coldest cups on the block. Because there are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's.
Now get an ice cold lemonade, frozen Coca-Cola, or iced coffee. Any size for just $1.79.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
It's back!
Words you never want to hear when it comes to plumbing. Better call NCK's Plumbing and Backflow. We're Wake County's first choice for plumbing services. We can save the day all kinds of ways. We offer water heaters, drain cleaning, backflow testing, and more, and use state-of-the-art technology to diagnose and repair existing problems. You'll want us back because we recommend the most cost-effective and energy-efficient solutions. CKSplumbing.com, Wake County's first choice for residential and commercial plumbing services.
Hey friends, Paul Eihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. It is playoff time. NHL, NBA, and baseball is in full swing. FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you bet your first $5. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P, and sign up. Then you can bet on everything from slap shots to slam dunks to home runs, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. So get started today. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, P-A-U-L, and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time for the Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan, served up by the Dugout Tavern and Grill, Apex's premier sports bar, official member of the Canes Bar Network. Adam Gold, Dennis, you have to remind me on this one. Adam Gold, he spoke with a whole host of people today.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people.
So who was he joined by to talk Canes?
Greg Wyshynski, senior NHL writer of ESPN.com.
Greg Wyshynski, Adam Gold from earlier today. Here it is.
You could talk about a 3-0 blown lead, or we could talk about we're surprised that it took Carolina as long to get to 3 goals based on the way they dominated the game. How is this being discussed?
It's being discussed, like you said, in very distinct ways between Carolina and the Islanders. The Islanders see it as trying to pull the positive out of this thing that they had a 3-0 lead and then trying to rationalize Carolina carrying play the way that it did as we tried to sit on the lead. You know, we didn't really get as aggressive or force the issue like we did in the beginning of the game. I think Patrick Waugh said after game 2 that they just stopped winning one-on-one battles, and that tells you that there's a lack of intensity and effort there in trying to close out this game. So they're kind of treating it like it's all a big old mental mistake on our part
right.
to blow a 3-0 lead, and then, of course, to give up 2 goals in 9 seconds. And they see that as recoverable. They see that as something fixable. Well, Carolina, I think, is probably pointing to their dominance in that game, and they're winning game 1 and say, no, actually, we're demonstrably the better team in the series when we turn our game on, and there's really nothing the Islanders are going to be able to do about it.
Yeah, the funny thing is that I talk to a lot of people on Long Island about this. The Islanders should have won game 1. I mean, that was the game. They had their scoring chances were far greater than Carolina's, and they just didn't do enough with them. And when you leave the game to chance in the third period, Carolina took advantage of the one great break, the kind of the deflection that left the puck to Steph Nason in front of Varlamov, and he just kind of shoveled it in off of Varley. It wasn't like a great shot. And then, Carolina's defense was able to lock it down the rest of the way. But they were lucky to win game 1, and I think Carolina felt that way. Certainly, Yevgeny Kuznetsov's bench interview let everybody know that he was not happy about the way they played. And I think we're never going to see the dominance that we saw again in the last 30 minutes of that game. But I think you kind of intimated this, that Carolina's just the better team.
They are, and I don't think it's out of question that we could see that dominance again. I mean, that's the way the Hurricanes can play. And I've seen the Islanders get dominated like that in the last couple of years at times when they don't seem like they can generate anything against a team that controls pace and controls play and gets the majority of shot attempts. But I think your point's an important one, and I think it's something that unless you've been watching this series that maybe people have missed, which is that the Islanders can certainly pull a number of positives out of those first 2 games. Definitely with the way they played in game 1, definitely in the beginning of game 2, and build on that. I mean, if you're Patrick Waugh, you're not happy being down 0-2, but it's not as if you look at those 2 games and say we are facing an uphill climb that we simply can't traverse. You're looking at those 2 games and saying there's ample evidence here that we can maybe find our way in this series, and it begins in game 3.
Yeah, look, I know both teams, the weird part of this season series was that each team won games on the other's ice only. It was just weird. Carolina won both games at UBS. The Islanders won both games down here at PNC, but one of them each in overtime. But all you have to do, I mean, the Islanders are making the goaltending change to Ilya Sorokin. Rod Brindamore has not yet announced that he will probably start Freddie Anderson. But, I don't think we'd be all that shocked to see Anderson go out there again, although I don't think he's been great, although I thought he was great in the second half of game 1. I didn't think he was great in game 2, but he didn't have to be after the third goal went in. But you could certainly get a lot of momentum out of Ilya Sorokin starting.
Here, the thing about Sorokin that's interesting is you could make the argument, and with due respect to Matt Barzal, that Sorokin's the most popular player on the Islanders. I mean, when you go to an Islanders game, the amount of Sorokin jerseys, the amount of Sorokin chants, I think that this move is as much about trying to elevate the momentum they're going to get from their fans in this arena tonight as it is a tactical change in goal. Because, I mean, outside of the Martinook goal, which was more, I think, on the Noah Dobson turnover than it was Varlamov looking the other way when he scored it, I think Varlamov's played pretty well. And so I think you're making this change if you're Patrick Waugh as a conversation changer, as a chance to have these fans and have this team get inspired by the most popular guy on the team being back in goal. Oh, and by the way, a guy that Patrick Waugh has not always backed this season sufficiently.
Right.
And a guy that would have a bit of a redemption arc if he was to pull out a victory in Game 3. There's a lot of narrative here, and I don't think that coaches are ignorant to it.
Once again, that was the Canes Cup check-in, the Cup check-in here on 99.9 The Fan. That was served up by the Dugout Tavern and Grill, Apex's premier sports bar, an official member of the Canes Bar Network. Let's jump into some more Canes conversation, because at every single Thursday at right about this time, we do something we call Hurri-Cons and Cons. Confidence and concerns. What are you most Hurri-confident about? What are you most Hurri-concerned about when it comes to the Hurricanes? As always, I have good news and bad news. Which do you want? Give me the bad news first. I'll start with the concern.
Okay.
My concern is through games 1 and game 2, we haven't seen a full 60-minute game yet from the Canes.
Okay.
And, again, I don't think it affects them much against the Islanders. But I think later on in the postseason, you're going to have to play a complete game if you want to have the type of success that we're expecting them to have. So you might as well start now. I want to see them start hot, finish strong, the whole thing, play a good second period. I'm not saying they have to win like every period by 3, but we've seen them be in control of games for the entirety of the 60 minutes. I want to see one of those before I alleviate all concerns.
All right, my concern actually in this set of 2 games coming up on Long Island is actually going to be Kuznetsov and Kotkaniemi. And the reason for that is because the Carolina Hurricanes do not have second change. So in hockey, the visiting team must change their players on the ice. Like during a stoppage, visiting team must change their players first. Home team gets to go second.
Yep.
So if Carolina, depending on what line they throw out there, Kotkaniemi and Kuznetsov might get matched up against the guys like Barzal, which is kind of a little slight mismatch in favor of the New York Islanders in that regard. Plus, any icing situation, you can't change your lines anyway. You can't change your players as is. So that's my concern, is that those guys are going to get matched up against the top guys for the Islanders a little bit more often than we saw on home ice games 1 and 2. So defensively, those 2 guys are really going to have to step up.
Do you know what I thought you were going with when you said Kuznetsov and Kotkaniemi?
What's that?
I thought you were going with because you said over these next 2 games. I thought you were going with the imminent return of Jesper Fast and how those 2 guys might be pressing a little bit to make sure they get to stay in the active lineup when Fast comes back.
Well, Foss didn't even make the trip, as far as I understanding. So, yeah,
that's why I'm saying for the next 2 games, with the anticipation that Foss is a more realistic rejoin for the next series.
Yeah.
Then over these next 2 games, or however many the first series goes, they would be more inclined to press and try to shine individually, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like anything nefarious. They're not going out there like, forget the game plan, I'm gonna get mine.
Exactly.
Like I'm not saying that, but like subconsciously, if you know there's a chance you're going to be taken out of the lineup, you want to play perfect. You want to do everything exactly the way you want it to be. Which, there's a cliche: perfect gets in the way of being very good. You want those guys to be very good rather than trying to be perfect. Hurri-Confidence. What are you most confident in? You can lead off with this one, Dennis.
I'm confident that the Carolina Hurricanes are going to put game 2 behind them and not rest on the fact that, oh, yeah, we came back and we played so great, we're going to be just fine. I don't think they're going to rest on that. I think they understand that they have to play that, like you mentioned, that full 60. I think their head's in the right space.
Mine is actually something you tipped me off to.
Okay.
And the moment, because right, we're around the office. If one of us sees something interesting, we pass it around. The moment you showed me Sebastian Aho's little heat map, I believe it's from Natural Hat Trick.
Yeah.
Natural
Stat
Trick. Excuse me. Natural Hat Trick. I mean, those are cool too.
Aho has one of those. That's great.
But you showed his little heat map with all of the green things that he did well, and there was hits and assists and shots and everything else, and then there were the little red markings for when you received a hit, when you turned it over. And you realize how many winning plays Sebastian Aho makes that don't go in the traditional stat report. He scored the game-tying goal. That only tells like 1/8 of the story of how many ways he impacted that game positively. So Sebastian Aho making the hidden winning plays is something I'm very confident in. Because it allows others to shine. It makes the other team work, right? It doesn't let them get away with lapses in focus or anything. I just think beyond the plays that you expect your best player to make, there's all the little plays that he also makes that are pretty darn important. So there you go. That's Hurri-Cons and Cons. Before we update the Hurri-Confidence Meter, which we do so on the screen behind me if you're watching on any of our video live streams, it is time to start bringing in calls. I said starting at 4:30, it's 4:29, so we'll jump the gun a little bit. If you want to win a signed Canes puck by a current Cane, one of your favorites, all you have to do is call in right now, 919-860-5FAN. That's 919-860-5326. We're taking 3 contestants, and you have to predict the first score of the game for the Canes. Who's going to score, and in what period will it be? So, for an example, if this were 2006, you might say Rod Brindamore in the first period. That's how the structure we want. We want the player and the period that the goal happens in. You might say Eric Stahl in the second, if we're going back to 2006, just picking some popular names. But obviously we're predicting it for tonight. So starting now, the phone lines will be open, 919-860-5326, Heister Automotive Group hotline to call in and make your predictions. As far as updating the Hurri-Confidence Meter goes, it's going to be a quick update. And the reason why it's going to be a quick update is because it is as far positive as it can go. It is all the way actually past Plan the Parade to something beyond even that. If you're watching on the YouTube, it is all the way full. If you're not watching on the YouTube, just know that the meter is maxed out. I literally asked, can we make it go any further? And the answer was no, this is as far as the Hurri-Confidence Meter can go. And the reason being, it's been at Plan the Parade ever since the trade deadline. And when you are up 2-0 in the first round of the postseason, there's absolutely no reason to bring it down, right? Maybe when or if they lose a game this postseason, we'll consider moving it down a half slice, but definitely not if they stay undefeated in the postseason.
We're still playing in the parade.
We're playing in the parade.
We're playing in the parade.
Locations, time, day. Where are we going to be in the – I'm very much campaigning to be in the
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Who are we going to be behind, in front of, right? Where do we fall in the order of things? Plan the parade, everybody. We're still there. Haven't moved in a very long time. All right, let's go to the phone lines here. We have to choose, and Dennis and I will give ours as well, the player and the period of the first goal for the Canes tonight. We're talking game 3.
We can't repeat, by the way.
Yes, and the callers can't repeat because they're the only 3 that can win the puck. Dennis or I can agree with them because we're just playing for fun and bragging rights. Aaron and Gardner, we'll go to you first. Aaron, who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
I got Martin Necas in the first period, kind of just to narrow it down in the later half of the first period, but Martin Necas.
Martin Necas, I like that. He's on your team, isn't he? Now I'm just thinking of our previous game. Aaron, we appreciate you for calling in. It's a good choice. Necas in the first. It is locked up. It is yours. Does he have to wait on the line for it? Yep. Go ahead and sit on the line because Dennis has to get some info from you. In the case that you win, we'll be able to get you the puck, all right? So Aaron and Gardner. A from Gardner. We go to another A from Gardner. Alex and Gardner on line 2. Alex, are you there?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and give us a player and a period.
I got Gensel in the first. I think they keep the hammer down.
I like. First of all, I like the authority with which you said it, and I like the answer that you've given. Gensel is on my team from our earlier draft, and it is. I think he's going to come out very, very motivated based on how that game ended and the chippiness. So I'm with you, Alex. Go ahead and sit on the line, and we'll see if you can get the win. And if you do, we need to make sure we can get you the signed puck. And lastly, we go to Barry in Smithfield. Barry, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Barry, give us a player and a period for the Canes' first goal of the night tonight.
Now I'm going to go with a popular pick, Aho in the first.
That was me in game 2. It was Aho in the first, just playing the percentages, right? The leading goal scorer.
That's me.
Hey, nothing wrong with a smart bet or a smart pick. Barry in Smithfield, you remain on the line also. Dennis will get some info from you. Dennis, before you start gathering all that info, though, give us your choice.
Actually, I'm with Barry. Aho in the first.
All right.
Based off mostly the selection I made on my team.
And
all right, either that or go Burns in the first, one of the two. But I'm going to go Aho.
You went Burns in the first last time, and that did not go well. So if you're superstitious, just stay away from that one. If you want to, everybody out there, and I'll give my pick in a second, but we're open just for bragging rights now. So if you want to tweet at us at 999thefan, if you want to tweet at me at Donnelly Sports, either would work. And just send in a player and a period, just like you just heard. Aaron, one of the contestants, went Natchez in the first. Alex went Gensel in the first, and Barry went Aho in the first. Dennis doubled down on Aho in the first. If you want to play along, you can't win the puck, at least not for this game. We'll do this throughout the postseason. And if there's no winners, it'll just keep rolling over, and we'll keep having all the pucks available for the future. There's a few different options here. I'm going Jarvis in the first. I'm going to go Jarvis in the first, partially because of the team I drafted earlier, but also they've been changing up the line a bit there, and Jarvis seems to be playing well down the line a little bit there. So Jarvis in the first, playoff Jarvie in the first might be the better way to describe that. Give me playoff Jarvie in the first period. And again, if you have one that you want to pass along, we want to hear from you. Just go ahead and you can tweet it at us at 999thefan or at Donnelly Sports. Either will work, and both will give you the necessary bragging rights. I do have to say this though. You better get your pick in before the game starts. We can see timestamps on Twitter. So don't think you're going to pull a fast one. Wait till the first goal, tweet it at us, and get all the love and support. No. Get it in before the game starts at 999thefan. Any of those three win, they'll get a free puck signed. We have Brandy on the line. A pick for bragging rights. Is that what we're going at? All right, Brandy, let's hear it. Who's going to score the first goal and in what period?
Burns in the first period.
Burns in the first. Now, we did this for game 2, and Dennis picked Burns in the first. And it was a very popular pick. People were coming up to us. We were outside PNC. And Burns did not have the best game. Are you worried about superstition at all? Brandy's gone. I'm not a superstitious person, so I say great pick, Brandy. Burns is a fan favorite. Dennis is checking. Do we have another caller? Or are you on with? All right, there we go. If you want to call in, you can for bragging rights, 919-860-5326, or as we said, you can tweet at us. It's a fun game to play. We're going to be playing it throughout the entire postseason, trying to find the first goal scorers. We have a trip on Twitter saying Natchez in the first, so agreeing with our guy Aaron, and that's not Trip Tracy, different Trip, but it's good times. It's good times. Megadeth, how about this? Need to update you on this. Megadeth's Destroy All Enemies tour with Mudvayne and All That Remains is coming to Coastal Credit Union Music Park on September 7th. To enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the show, visit WRALSportsFan.com/sportsradio. Megadeth's Destroy All Enemies tour, I'll say it one more time for you, with Mudvayne and All That Remains. Those are the other members of the card, is coming to Coastal Credit Union Music Park on September 7th. Visit WRALSportsFan.com/sportsradio to enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to the show. I have a few more thoughts on the NFL draft, including a way the Panthers can win the draft today without making any picks. Oh, we got more callers. Never mind.
We got a hotline full of them here.
Hotline full of them. We'll go to Jeff in Wake Forest. Jeff in Wake Forest, give us a player and a period and reasoning as to why you think it's going to break that way.
I got Brady Shea in the second. I feel like Sorokin's going to come in hot in the pipe, stop a lot in the first, and then Brady Shea puts it home somewhere in the second.
That's interesting. So we are expecting Sorokin in net for the Islanders. You think he's going to start hot? He hasn't been hot as of late, but you're thinking he's going to come in on fire?
I do indeed. I think with Patrick Roy making the change he's going to do, he's going to come in real motivated, come in strong, and he'll make some big stops in the first, but we'll eventually get home in the second.
Appreciate the call, Jeff. We'll see if it pans out. That's bragging rights for you. You're not in for the puck, but bragging rights might be even more important. That has to be like when Patrick Roy makes a decision to go with you as a goalie. It's like, hey, you're the guy. That's got to be just confidence-inducing, right? It's like, you know what? I feel pretty good about myself now that you've said that, Pat. Does anyone call you Patty? No, I shouldn't do that. That's fine, too. Never mind, Mr. Waugh. Let's go to Pierce on the phone line. Pierce, who's going to be the first goal scorer and why?
I heard you say Jarvis in the first earlier, so I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go Martinook in the second.
Hey, nothing wrong with Martinook staying hot, right? Game winner to
Not at all.
You said in the second?
Yes, sir, in the second.
All right. Slow start? What makes you think slow start?
I think he's going to be. Well, he's hot right now. He's hot.
Mm-hmm.
He hit the GW earlier.
I don't mean slow start for him, right? Hey, I'm not looking at any individual and going, why'd you wait till the second period to start scoring? But I'm saying you don't think the Canes score at all in the first?
I don't think they score in the first. I think the Islanders score first, and then we score twice in a row and win 2-1.
I like it. Oh, low scoring. I like it. Appreciate the call, Pierce.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
We have a few more here we'll get to quickly. Zach and Raleigh, quickly here. We're running out of time. Give us a player and a period for the first goal. Zach, are you there? Going once. Going twice. Zach, are you there?
Hey, this is Pat.
All right, we'll go to
Durham.
Pat and Durham. Pat and Durham. Who scores first and in what period?
I'm going to say Smeskov, and I'm saying the first.
Spetch in the first.
And, and then I think it's going to be kind of rough in the first, and he's going to bounce around and bust a few chops and then get by him and school him.
I would love for Svetch to get scoring early. I think that would be great for the Canes moving forward. Appreciate the call, Pat.
By the way, Zach did tell me off air before we put him on that he actually had DeAngelo, if I remember correctly, in the second.
Ooh. Tony D in the second. If that one hits, I mean, it's just for bragging rights because he's not one of the three contestants,
right?
But go buy a lottery ticket.
Seriously.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We're going to take a break, but first I got to tell you about my partners at DraftKings. The chase for the cup is on, and if you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. If you can check the app, if you're getting Tony DeAngelo to score a goal, you might have some pretty good odds there. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame moneyline bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. I hate saying that part. Even if they end up losing, right? Try to say it quick. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD, T-I-M-D. New customers, once you use promo code TIMD, T-I-M-D, no spaces, and bet $5, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's $200 in bonus bets right there in your account. With DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bets limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms. Draft talk coming up next, including a way that the Panthers can win the draft tonight without making a single pick. Stick around.
There are truck months, and then there are truck months. This Ram Truck Month at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington is one you won't want to miss out on. Right now, you can get 20% off a new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn. Get off your keister and get to Heister for your shiny new 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn at 20% off. We'll serve it up with personalized customer service from our team dedicated to providing a seamless buying experience. Hurry to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or a 2 bird dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's Bo time.
QC Kinetics announces the arrival of National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, an acclaimed orthopedic surgeon with 2 decades of experience and extensive research in regenerative medicine.
I was one of the first orthopedic surgeons to do it, and at the same time I integrated clinical research that's resulted in several publications that are really directing the future of regenerative medicine. I was drawn to QC Kinetics after I reviewed their protocols, and everything they were doing is consistent with my own approach.
Today, Dr. Scheinkup leads the entire team of medical professionals at QC Kinetics, taking this exciting medical breakthrough to a whole new level.
What we are doing at QC Kinetics is transforming lives.
Get lasting joint pain relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
This is the future of medicine.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
Body like a bag. Sam Hunt returns. Locked Up Tour. The night I got locked up. Saturday, July 27th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. With special guests, Russell Dickerson. It's in a Tacoma, California. And George Burge. We'll have a house party we don't need. Sam Hunt. On sale Friday at LiveNation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series. New EP, Locked Up. Available now.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Alice Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. When people come over to the showroom, they see all of these great doors. I'm not saying that this is what you guys specialize in. You specialize in everything, but let's talk some doors.
The doors are a great way to beautify your home. And when you come into the showroom, one of the first things I ask you to do is to open and close the door. It's a big difference. So with the doors, you pick out the hardware, you pick out the colors, you pick out the style. They come in fiberglass, they come in steel. We got multiple glass options. It's a great way to improve your home. It's easy to do. It's affordable. And these doors, a lot of times you go in and out the door 10, 20 times a day. You might open the windows 10 times a year.
Though that is true. By the way, I'm not sure I've ever walked through my front door.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, we use the back door.
The back door is side door. We do those also.
All right. That's Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. 800-672-4348 on Hamlin Road in Durham. AluminumCompany.com. Check them out if you need a door.
Get a great deal this spring on a new Trane heating and cooling system. Trane systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a Trane.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll take a few more here. You said we have more callers?
Yeah, I got them off air.
Okay.
They just gave me their selections off air for first goal today. So we had Casey from Fuquay says Kokeniemi in the first.
I like the kind of off the board predictions. They're fun for me.
I like it. Also, Jonathan from Chapel Hill said Shea in the second.
Like that. That's my team.
Joe from Raleigh, Gensel in the first.
I like that. That's my team. Zach on Twitter says Brady in the first. Obviously, Brady Shea.
Mm-hmm.
Jason on Twitter says Stahl in the second.
Okay.
And then a Trip says Natchez in the first. There's a bunch there. So we have a lot in for bragging rights. We have our 3 contestants in for the signed puck. And this is a reminder that every time there is a game on a weekday, we'll be doing this during the postseason. So pay attention and get your picks ready and be ready to call in when we prompt you. Right now, though, with the NFL draft tonight, our program director, Paul Eihander, just stopped in, gave me some updates on some of the reports.
Oh, okay.
Bears looking to move out of number 9.
Okay. I think that's been floating around for a little bit, but all right, makes
Rams
sense.
calling to get into the top 10.
Interesting.
The Rams have not made a first-round pick since Jared Goff.
2016.
They've traded them all away. And by the way, it's worked a bunch. Like they've won a Super Bowl. Jalen Ramsey, Matt Stafford. Like they've gotten some dudes.
Yeah. They went to 2 Super Bowls and won 1. A lot of teams in the NFL would be like, we'll take that.
Yes. So So then, now that they have a first-round pick, I think they're picking in the teens, maybe mid-teens, 16 or something like that. They're like, well, if we're going to have a first-round pick, let's have a good one.
Hey, let's go.
Looking to go up into the top 10.
Quarterback? If you're going to the top 10, it's got to be that, right?
Quarterback or late top 10
Brock Bowers?
Offensive tackle.
There's so many good ones, though.
Yeah, but maybe they want their best.
Okay.
They don't need a wide receiver. They got Puka and Cooper.
True.
But Bowers, maybe Bowers.
I was going to say, tight end, Bowers?
Maybe Bowers. That's my guess right there. Stumbled into it. Would have got there eventually.
Sean McVay's going to just drool all over himself if he gets a tight end like that.
He's going to have plays where it's like they're going to think you're a tight end, but you're a running back, but you're actually playing quarterback, but you're actually in motion out to the left flanker spot. Puka is in the slot.
You're going to pretend to fake.
Yeah. You're gonna fake the fake. The Panthers don't have a pick tonight, and they're not expected to trade into the top 10. However, I'm going to give you one way that they can win the draft without making a single pick.
Oh.
Go get Brandon Aiyuk or T. Higgins. I want to be on the record pre-draft into a microphone with receipts that say the Panthers should do darn near everything they can to get Brandon Aiyuk or T. Higgins. I said this long ago, and then it appeared as if they both became not available, but there's rumblings that maybe they're more available than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Both are either going into their fifth-year option or a franchise tag year. So there's should have been more talk of a long-term extension. Apparently, neither has really had productive conversations with their team. A second-round pick might get it done, maybe a second plus a late rounder. Do it. Do it. You would have to give them a big contract as soon as they get to town, but what's the point of having a quarterback on a rookie contract if you don't give a big contract to someone to help him out? You don't have a first-round pick. You can get a first-round player value because their value, they're easily worth a first-round pick, except for the fact that it's going to be knocked down a bit by the fact that you have to give him a big contract. That shouldn't scare you. Even if you pick the right rookie at pick 33 or 39 at wide receiver, even good rookies sometimes take a minute to hit their stride. You don't have time to wait. You need Bryce Young to be helped now. Aiyuk or Higgins and Deontay Johnson plus an Adam Thielen third fiddle. Is there such thing? Second fiddle is a thing. Sure. Is there such thing as a third fiddle?
We'll go with it.
If you have Aiyuk or Higgins as the first fiddle, you have Deontay Johnson as the second fiddle, and you have Adam Thielen as the third fiddle, Bryce Young might accuse them of witchcraft for how easily they're going to get open compared to what he saw last year. He's going to look at him and go, "You're supernatural. This isn't the same game I was playing last year." That's good. That's what you're trying to do. If you can get Aiyuk or T. Higgins, even if you have to pay him $25 million a year, give him 4 years, $100 million, a whole bunch guaranteed. Amon-Ra St. Brown just got $30 million a year. You can pay Aiyuk or T. Higgins a little bit less than that. Mix it in with Deontay Johnson, who's on a bargain deal by comparison. Adam Thielen's already locked in. Jonathan Mingo can develop at his own pace alongside those guys and learn from those guys. You went from a young, inexperienced, ineffective pass-catching group to a veteran, proven, willing to help Bryce Young become what Bryce Young can become group.
Your top two guys will be in their prime.
Top two guys will be in their prime. You look at what the Bears are doing with Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Brandon Aiyuk / T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson, and Adam Thielen is close. Now, if the Bears go and draft like Rome Odunze at 9 and they can't trade out, they would retake the lead.
Well, yes.
But
yes, they would.
But then you have the last two first overall picks at quarterback surrounded by legitimate dudes that can help them. It's the only way the Panthers significantly win the draft today because they don't have a pick to make. But if they can walk at it today or the weekend with Aiyuk Aiyuk or Higgins, I mean,
unless you're going to do it.
Pick 33 for Aiyuk, pick 39 for Higgins, and then you got to pay him $50 million combined.
Yeah, you can't afford that.
That might be a little rich in the pocketbook, but one of them plus Deontay Johnson, I walk away with different expectations for this year. It's very difficult this weekend for me to change my expectations for the Panthers this season in a largely positive way. If you get one of those two guys, I change my expectations in a largely positive way.
But does that go against what you talked about earlier about building through the draft, building your core through the draft? Doesn't that kind of go against it, though? Like trading for a guy that is like to me, that's like a win now type move. As opposed to building your core and rebuilding from within. Doesn't that kind of go against that?
It does, except for the fact that it would also be a vote of confidence for Bryce Young.
Okay.
Right? He'd be one of the guys that you're picking, and you'd understand that. Yeah, and I don't know if there is the equivalent in hockey. Like, I don't know if there was a veteran that they could go sign once, Sebastian Aho first got called up that would have unlocked Sebastian Aho more quickly to a top level. I don't know if that exists in hockey the way it does for a quarterback in football. That's where I don't think it's an apples-to-apples comparison. Bringing in either of those guys is as much about Bryce Young as anything else. Again, I've used these examples in the past. Josh Allen showed flashes, then he got Stephon Diggs, MVP candidate. Jalen Hurts, same thing when A.J. Brown showed up. Tua Tagovailoa, same thing when Tyreek Hill showed up. A lot of these guys, once they get their stud wide receiver, really level up as a quarterback. And then you can move on from whoever that is, right? The Bills just moved on from Stephon Diggs. Mm-hmm. Mahomes had to move on from Tyreek Hill. If Aiyuk comes in and gives you 3 great years that allows Bryce Young to level up, then you can move on from Aiyuk, send him somewhere else, and build like we were talking about earlier. But it is about, right now, a lot about Bryce Young. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have a whole bunch more to get to, including the starting 5, which will include the draft. It'll include the Canes and the draft and more Canes and the draft and more Canes. Stick around.
The Canes are back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's Game 3.
They score! Sebastian Aho! And the roof's gone at PNC Arena.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck Drop at 7:30.
Jordan Martinook with the steal and the finish! And it's 4-3 Carolina! What a comeback!
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? Research shows consumers who trade in their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in, sell it to We Buy Any Car. Get your free online valuation now at
We Buy Any Car.
Research published in the Journal of Industrial Economics, December 2015, showed buyers with a trade-in pay an average of $990 more than those who do not trade in their used cars.
Dude Perfect here. Power up with the new smoothie we created with Smoothie King. It's loaded with pineapple, banana, kiwi apple juice, and more. Straw me, boys. Perfect shot. Get the Dude Perfect smoothie only at Smoothie King.
Megadeth. Destroy all enemies tour. With Mudvayne. Saturday, September 7th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. Special guest, All That Remains. Megadeth. On sale Friday at LiveNation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
It's time to shop sparkling deals. It's Bailey's Fine Jewelry's multi-million-dollar inventory reduction sale.
Going on now.
Shop jewelry up to 60% off. Diamonds, watches, earrings, bracelets, necklaces, and rings are all on sale. The perfect time to shop for Mother's Day, anniversary, or engagement rings without breaking the bank. Shop the largest selection of luxury jewelry for less at Bailey's Big Sale. Learn more at BaileyBox.com.
Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free from credit cards, car loan, and personal loans. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value is way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com, 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
Major International Soccer is coming to Raleigh this summer. Don't miss the current English Premier League champions Manchester City versus the current Scottish Premier League champions Celtic FC, playing July 23rd at Keenan Stadium at the University of North Carolina. This is going to be the event of the summer and your chance to watch some great soccer from two of the biggest teams in the world. Tickets are on sale now. Go to fcseries.com to purchase. July 23rd, Manchester City versus Celtic at Keenan Stadium. fcseries.com for tickets.
Remarkable change begins with daring to be different. Baby, I'm on a mission with Boost Mobile, putting the latest phones in the hands of more people. Introducing the signature Coach Prime Razor, only from Boost Mobile. Rush to your nearest Boost Mobile retailer and get your signature Coach Prime Razor on us. Get after it.
When you switch in with ID verification, select plans only. Offer valid 4/19/24 through 5/23/24. While supplies last. Taxes extra. New customers only. Must remain active and in good standing on the $60 a month plan for 6 months to receive all credits. Offer subject to change.
This hour on the Triangle Sports Leader is brought to you by the Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Shoot! He scores!
Go to GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We have plenty of sunshine, comfortable temperatures, but tomorrow will probably take on a different look. Partly to mostly cloudy tonight, the low around 50. Could be a low overcast in the morning, then partly to mostly cloudy in the afternoon, 69.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 375 points to 38,085. Market update brought to you by Sanford Strawberry Jammin'. Saturday, May 11th, downtown Sanford, starting at the Farmers Market, where it will be all things strawberry flavored, plus live music, kids activities, food trucks, vendors, and more. Get the Let Out, a celebration of the mighty Zepp, is coming to DPAC Friday, May 3rd. Tickets are going fast at dpacnc.com.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The starting five here on the Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan is served up by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com. The starting five, as always, starts with number 5. Drake Maye. Dream accomplished today, right? Guy's going to be drafted into the NFL, likely very close to the top of the draft.
Props to him. Congrats to him.
Yeah, congrats. Enjoy it, right? Get a nice suit, walk across the stage. What would you do? Are you a handshake Roger Goodell or a hug Roger Goodell?
Yes.
Both?
Yeah.
Bear hug? You taking him off the ground?
No, I don't know if I go that far.
He's Drake Maye. I don't know what he'll do to Roger Goodell. Drake Maye is the consensus favorite to go number 3 to the Patriots. Let's look at the top wide receivers quickly, shall we? For the quarterback-needy teams at the top of the draft. The Bears have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen.
Pretty good.
Washington has Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson.
Solid.
The Patriots have Kendrick Bourne and KJ Osborne.
Who?
Drake Maye is going to be asked to change a franchise. Because another team that if he doesn't go to the Patriots and he doesn't go to those first two teams, team like the Giants comes in play, Darius Slayton and Jalen Hyatt.
Bruh.
If the Vikings trade up and get him, it's Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, which would be
pretty awesome,
fantastic. The two most likely situations for Drake Maye are not easy. He would become the definition of draft day isn't the end of the work, it's the beginning of the work, and there's a lot of work to do. Right? I say this every single year on the draft day, every single year on signing day. It feels like like a finish line, but it's really a starting line. Right? It's really now the hard work begins. And Drake Maye, if he goes to the Patriots, which is where everyone's expecting him to go, it's a tall task. Mac Jones was the guy after the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not act like that shadow's completely gone.
Oh, God, no.
There's still number 12 hanging over that entire organization. Now Bill Belichick is gone, and that shadow is hanging over the entire organization. And, oh, by the way, you have to severely and significantly increase the output of the offense, where, as it stands now, you don't have much of a wide receiver core to help you with. Ramondre Stevenson out of the backfield. Mac Jones figured out that you could check it down to that guy 12 times in the fourth quarter when you're down 14 and pick up an extra 100 yards passing, but that doesn't actually help you win games. The Giants and Patriots are well behind the rest of the quarterback-needy teams. I don't know. Obviously, the draft isn't something. It's not like you have to match with them. It's not like you put in your list of what teams you want to go to. They put in their list like it's med school. Mm-hmm. They just get to take you. So Drake Maye is going to have to walk into what I believe will be a very tough situation and just be successful because the other option is not very fun.
I'm sure once his name gets called, there's got to be a sense of relief in the sense of not only, okay, I got drafted, but all the poking, the prodding, the analyze, the tape, workouts, all that kind of stuff that you had to go through over the last several months, it's all done. Now you can just okay, that's my team. That's who I'm playing for. Now I can actually just go do the thing I've been preparing to do.
I completely agree with that.
It's got to be a sense of relief for all these guys.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 months leading up to the draft is probably simultaneously exciting and it's new and, right, you have an agent and you're working out and endorsement deals and every different podcast and every different sports radio and every different sports television show wants to talk to you. But also, the negative things, you don't have a rebuttal.
No.
You can't go, so-and-so thinks you make bad decisions on third down. There's the talking head XYZ on TV. You can't go out there and be like, well, on Saturday, I'm going to make great decisions. You don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get drafted, you have a group that's working with you to rebuttal, working with you to fight back against all of that. And I do think that the Patriots will fight back with them. I just think you probably want more than KJ Osborne and Kendrick Bourne to help you there. Do they have a thing where their wide receivers all have to have Bourne somewhere in their last name?
I think so.
Kendrick Bourne, KJ Osborne. Is there anyone else? Jason Bourne?
Maybe.
Probably a good wide receiver. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
We are the 4 horsemen. Woo!
Tony DeAngelo's role tonight for the Canes is going to be interesting. Brett Pesce out. Jesper Fast out, just for updating everybody. Tony DeAngelo has not been in the lineup very much recently. He's now going into a postseason environment, which is something he has some experience with, but also a tall ask, right? It's I don't know, I'm trying to think of the right way. You're jumping into like a Broadway show and your steps better be perfect or else everybody's going to be bumping into you and you're going to look like you don't know what you're doing. The Canes have been operating on a high level now for a while. And one of the major adjustments they made this season that kind of got them on this track is going from DeAngelo in the starting lineup to Jalen Chatfield in the starting lineup. And that happened, month into the season. And since then, the Canes have been playing pretty darn good. So now DeAngelo is asked to go into a postseason and replace Brett Pesce, which is no small task, right? Stepping into some big skates. Let's hear from Tony DeAngelo on coming in for Brett Pesce.
Yeah, it's good. It's never good when you lose, especially one of the best players on the team and a big part of our team. So it's no good there. But hopefully I can come in and try to pick up what he's been doing and just do a good job and help the team win.
I think he understands. we had the debate. We didn't have the debate. We had the conversation, right? Debate implies we were going against each other. We had the conversation on Tony DeAngelo or Scott Morrow, right? Tony DeAngelo, the veteran. I do think that's why you go with the vet. Just a little bit more of the, Brett Pesce's really good. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do what I do, right? A little bit more casual rather than like, hey, Scott Morrow, you were playing for UMass 2.5 weeks ago. Now go do everything Brett Pesce was doing. That just sounds a little bit more daunting. Speaking of, DeAngelo spoke to the media, as we said, and this is him talking about having playoff experience with Carolina in the past.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about high-pressure situations, to be honest with you. But you just got to go out there and play. It's a little bit different, a little less risk, I guess, to each person's game. But for the most part, just going to go out and play the way I usually do and hopefully get some results.
You forget that he was around Carolina pre he was an off-season acquisition, but he was also a guy that had been in Carolina in the past and has played in some big games for Carolina.
Yep.
Rod knows how to talk to him. Rod knows how to communicate to him.
Mm-hmm. Let's go out there and be yourself, man.
I was going to say, scale of 1 to 10, and I'm putting you on the spot here.
Okay.
So, quality of play for DeAngelo tonight.
10 being high?
Yeah.
I think we get a solid 7.
Okay.
Which for
I was going to say, I think that's
fine.
If you promise me a 7, I sign up for it right now.
Solid 7 tonight.
If
don't do too much. Don't make mistakes. That's it.
Don't make the big mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Don't make any glaring mistakes. Yeah. Don't try and do too much. Be a solid 7.
I'm with it. And also, the other thing is, you see a shot, take it.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
That's DeAngelo's game.
That's what I mean. Don't go in there trying to be something you're not. If it's there, let it rip.
The mistake is not taking the shot if it's there.
Yeah. It's thank you for everything you've given me. Thank you for everything you've taken from me, right? It's both sides of it. Sometimes the mistake is doing something. Sometimes the mistake is not doing something. That's number, what were we at, 4? Let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
What does the perfect first round look like for the Panthers in the draft tonight? Knowing that the Panthers don't have a pick. Matt Miller, ESPN draft analyst, was speaking with Mina Kimes, ESPN NFL analyst, about the dream wide receiver that could fall to the Panthers who have the first pick of the second round. Here's their conversation.
I think it's Leggett. You have to help Bryce, and giving him someone who can body defensive backs that can win on slant routes. I think back to when Drew Brees had Michael Thomas, that guy who could just win on those quick hitters. He's going to be able to shield defenders from the ball and then make something happen after the catch. So I know they drafted Jonathan Mingo last year, didn't have great returns rookie year. And I think Leggett gives you so much more burst, so much more juice after the catch.
Yeah, he's sort of like budget Brian Thomas Jr. in a way. But I like it too. I like his fit with Deontay Johnson, who they've got. I think that's a complementary skill set. You talk about Leggett creating after the catch. Johnson's so good at getting open. They work different parts of the field. Both are just dramatically an improvement in terms of the playmaking ability over what you had in the offense last year.
So maybe it's Leggett falling to 33. I don't think that's if that's your dream, I don't think you're dreaming big enough. Not physically, because he is a large wide receiver.
Well, yes. I mean, realistic dream, though. Realistically, it's Caleb Williams falls down to 33, and then guess what? We can trade Bryce, whatever. That's a pipe dream. But, realistically, yeah.
Leggett. If we want to get specific, you start saying things like the Falcons draft a bust, and you start getting into what's the dream first round for the Panthers? Well, let me see. The Chicago Bears have a moral and ethical awakening and feel bad about swindling the Panthers and give back the first overall.
I want my picks back.
If we're getting that crazy, I think genuinely the thing you want to see, the thing you want to root for if you are a Panther fan, is a big run on quarterbacks and offensive tackles. Because I don't believe the Panthers are in the market for either at 33. And you could see 5, 6 of those positions each, which means with every quarterback taken, with every offensive lineman taken, that is a better wide receiver, a better corner, a better edge rusher, a better position that you do need being pushed down to you, and also more of them, right? Because as we've talked about a bunch, they have the 33rd pick and the 39th pick. So if you have a handful of players that you like available at 33 that you like a lot, you might be more willing to trade down from 33, pick up extra day 2 picks if you're willing to play the game that one of those guys you really like at 33 will still be there at 39. So, kind of in the most basic form, if I'm a Panther fan, I'm rooting for quarterbacks. I want all of them. I want Dennis, we were just talking about it in the office. There's a whole bunch of mock drafts that have 6 first-round quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake Maye, J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix Jr., and Bo Nix. There was one that we were talking about, and I forget where it was, so I can't attribute him properly. And maybe I shouldn't because I'm going to kind of tease him. There was one that even had Spencer Rattler in the first round, which would be 7 quarterbacks in the first round.
Bruh.
Don't see it happening. But if you're a Panther fan, you want it to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's another position, another draft pick used that isn't on something you were considering at 33.
You want like a safety to get drafted.
You want safeties. You want off-ball linebackers. You want guards. You want all the positions you don't need drafted in the first round. I think the 2 most obvious are quarterback and offensive tackle because they are deep positions in this draft that could realistically go on a run in the first round. And also they're positions that teams don't mind paying money. So if it's a first-round draft pick, you want a first-round price, offensive tackles and quarterbacks are actually a bargain.
Quick question. How many trades do you expect today?
I don't even know. I'd say 5.
I'm feeling high. I'm going 7.
Okay. I think there's going to be a lot. I'd have to see numbers in front of me. 5 might feel like 400. How many do we normally have in a draft? A lot. I think it's going to feel like a lot. I think it's going to be a lot. I think maybe 1 in the top 10 and then 4 plus starting at pick 11 or 12. By the way, some rumors we're hearing. There's at least one rumor here. Diana Rossini.
Okay. Works at The Athletic now, formerly of ESPN.
The 49ers have had conversations with teams, including with one picking in the top 10, about trading either of their prized wide receivers, Brandon Aiyuk or Deebo Samuel, in an effort to move up into the first round. To move up in the first round, not into. Move up in the first round per sources. So if the Niners want to get from the end of the first to the top 10, they may be willing to throw in Aiyuk or Deebo.
So, for example, if they want to, I guess they're pick 31, correct? So they can trade pick 31 and Brandon Aiyuk up to number 9 to Chicago, and then they can draft Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors, whomever's sitting there.
And if they trade Deebo, then they'd have one wide receiver on a rookie contract, which would allow them to pay Aiyuk. Or if they traded Aiyuk, they would be able to afford the second wide receiver that they can't with Aiyuk because Odunze is on a rookie contract.
Exactly.
Interesting. Which would make Aiyuk or Deebo available, but not to the Panthers because they don't have the pick in the first round to trade back to.
They don't.
That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the 2 of us.
Do we have any goalie news?
Not yet. Don't worry.
Are you refreshing as we speak?
Refreshing literally right now. Rob Brittamore was scheduled to speak to the media up in Long Island, starting at 5:15. So just waiting to see, all those things.
Yeah. So the question that we want to have answered is who's going to be in goal tonight for the Canes? Freddie Anderson, who's been in goal for Game 1 and Game 2 of this series, the first round series against the Islanders, or Pyotr Kochetkov, who actually started the bulk of the games during the regular season, while Freddie was out with a blood clotting issue. This is kind of interesting. Just a nugget while we wait.
Okay.
I went to Walt Ruff's Twitter to see if he had updated. The Canes have recalled defenseman Ronan Seeley from the Chicago Wolves. Obviously, once the postseason starts, your rosters can be larger, and there's
no salary cap or roster limit.
But it's going to start getting crowded at some of the so they have to find new lockers and everything.
Yeah, usually there's like a side locker room and all that kind of stuff that these guys go to.
They're really enjoying having these younger players be able to experience whatever they can of a postseason run.
And a lot of those guys will practice, before the actual team does. Like, so the guys that are actually going to be playing or might be in the lineup, they have their own practice. The other guys kind of do their own thing and stuff generally beforehand, but they're around the team doing all that kind of stuff.
And with as many as they have kind of called up now, they can have like a full true practice in that kind of early state ahead of practice because a couple defensemen, a couple forwards, a goalie, like they can do some things.
A little scrimmage going on over here?
A little 3-on-3, why not?
So, yes. All right. Walt Ruff just posted this. Rob Brindamore confirms pregame that Canes will go with Freddie Anderson in net tonight. So my prediction came true. Freddie Anderson will start Game 3 in net tonight. Tony DeAngelo slots in for the injured Brett Pesce as expected. Obviously, no Brett Pesce and no Jesper Foss. But yes, Rob Brindamore just confirmed, posted by our good friend Walt Ruff. Freddie Anderson will start in net again tonight.
So Freddie Anderson, since returning from the blood clotting issue, did not start in back-to-back games for the rest of the regular season once he returned. This will now be the third consecutive game he has started to start the postseason.
Correct.
To me, this is a actions speak louder than words deal. They are putting the saddle on Fredzilla, and he is the guy they are going to try to ride. And it's if he gets a break, it's because he needs a break. If they feel like the fatigue would dramatically impact his play. If he's ready, if he's refreshed, if you have a day off, a couple days between games, we're going to see Freddie for this postseason run.
So there it is.
Which means Pyotr Kochetkov chilling.
When we talked about this earlier today, what we predicted Rob would do, I said Freddie Game 3. My guess is Pyotr Game 4, especially if they win tonight, because it's a fast turnaround. Saturday's game's at 2:00, so it's a quicker turnaround. Maybe that was the plan all along.
Maybe that was the plan all along.
That was the plan all along.
Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was.
So, yes, Freddie Anderson will start in net again tonight.
That's number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one!
You know what Freddie can help him do in game number 3?
Win.
Step on the Islanders' gosh darn throats.
Yes. Let's bury this team tonight. Let's go.
Bury him. We talked about it. Don't let game 2 beat you in game 3. Don't let the emotions of game 2 beat you in game 3. We've talked about that. But I think more so, like, the Islanders right now, after game 2, are that moment in boxing or that moment in MMA. We should have Victoria Vodenecker come out here. That moment where you connect and they're a little woozy, but they're not knocked out yet, and you know you're gonna win, right? You're ahead on cards. You've landed more punches. You've landed more power punches. You've done everything right. But they just hit that wobble, and you know if you can take that one more step and put everything you have into a hook, they're going down. It's going to be a knockout. So right now, tonight, the Canes have that opportunity to step into it, throw a hook, not literally, don't get called for anything stupid, but throw the roundhouse and knock out their opponent. Like get the ref in there. 1, 2, like it's time. That's what tonight is about. There you go. Tonight is about killer instinct. Tonight is about thriving and ending another team's season. Tonight is about your season continuing and not one game more in this series than it absolutely has to.
Tonight's about crushing hopes and dreams.
In the most spirit of the rule way possible.
No, crush hopes and dreams. Like, stomp them out.
Yeah, you want to. Yeah, exactly. I mean, end it.
Yeah. Like whatever lie that the Islanders have been saying to themselves to try and convince themselves they can come back in this series and win this darn thing, crush those hopes and dreams. Crush the lie.
You need Mickey from Rocky going like, end 'em, champ. Like that's what tonight is about. Tony DeAngelo is playing a bigger role? Yes. Freddie Anderson's playing his third consecutive game? Yup. Gensel is probably a little perturbed based on how the ending of Game 2 went. Sure. All of it, like you're riding high after Game 2? Yup. It's the first game on the road this postseason? Mm-hmm. All of this is true. Pesce's hurt? All of this is true. Dominate anyway. Win anyway. Put them out of their misery anyway. Step on their throat anyway. Who's this is an embarrassing story for my old college coach.
Okay.
At halftime, we were playing a team. I'm trying to think of where we were on the road somewhere in New England, maybe New Hampshire, and or Maine, Rhode Island. It was Rhode Island.
Okay.
Got there. I got there. And at halftime, he challenged the offense. Who's going to make the dagger play, right? We were up, 14, probably should have been up 28. And he's like, who's going to stab the dagger? Who's going to the play that ends it? And then one of our running backs had like a 60-yard run. And after the game, coach gave him a dagger. You know what the dagger was?
What's that?
It was a tape cutter that he got from the trainers. It was,
of course,
which is, for those of you that haven't seen the tape cutter, we used to call them sharks. It's literally the blade is like hidden by plastic, so you can't cut yourself. Like, it's basically like saying like, how tough was that? How cool was that? You're such a tough guy. Here's the dagger, and then giving him like the toddler scissors that can only cut paper and can't cut skin. It was very much like. Thanks, coach.
Needed these anyway.
Yeah.
So tape cutters, like for people that get like their ankles taped and stuff like that, you got to cut the tape.
And it went
what
from,
they are.
And the way he like presented it, we thought he was gonna go full Crocodile Dundee. He was gonna be like, "That's not a knife. This is a knife," and take out like a saber. And instead, he just pulled out tape cutters, and you can tell like, oh, coach did not plan this before 4 minutes ago.
Yep.
He just asked a trainer, "Do you have anything sharp I can borrow?"
Tape cutters.
And he gave it to him, and the running back had it in his locker for the next like year. Like, I don't know, cutting tape with it, which is so. Hopefully, if Rod Brindamore goes with that motivational tactic, he has a better blade to give to whoever makes the dagger play. But they should be competing to make the dagger, to put the series out of reach. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I want to tell you about my partners at Window Nation. Have you finally had enough of the frigid drafts coming through your windows? We talk a lot when we talk about Window Nation about keeping air in, right? Because you want to save money on your energy bill. If you're heating or cooling the air in your house, you don't want it all running out through damaged or leaky windows or just low-quality windows. But we haven't really mentioned the opposite, right? The air outside getting inside. Sometimes your house is comfortable, it's cool, but then the sun comes out and you're going, wait a second, I have windows. Why is this hot air all coming in? Or vice versa with the cool air. Why is it all coming in, the frigid drafts? Window Nation can take care of all of it, and they'll do so with a great deal. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, plus 0 down, 0 interest, and no payments for 24 months. Window Nation's professional installation teams have over 10 years of experience. They can install your windows in 1 day or less. They also come with a lifetime warranty. So call in right now, 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or visit windownation.com to schedule. And when I say to schedule, that's a free, no-obligation quote and demonstration. They'll come right out to your house to explain it all to you. Check them out, windownation.com. We need Numbers Game contestants. We're giving away a lot of stuff today. Numbers Game, we'll be giving away tickets to see Sam Hunt. He's bringing the summer heat to Coastal Credit Union Music Park on Saturday, July 27th for the Locked Up Tour with special guests Russell Dickerson and George Burge. If you want to play the Numbers Game and if you want to win the Sam Hunt tickets, you have to call in now, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Numbers Game coming up.
The NFL Draft. Start the clock.
Let's go.
The picks will be in.
With the first pick.
It's NFL Draft Week. Find out if Drake Maye stays in the top 3. Will the Carolina Panthers make magic happen on day 2? Find the answers with us.
Let's give these people a show.
Insider reports and in-depth coverage all week long on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Deals are happening at John Heister Chevrolet on brand new 2024 vehicles, like $2,500 off a Colorado, $4,000 off the Silverado 2500 Custom, or $6,000 off a Silverado 2500 High Country. With a 2010 or newer Chevrolet trade-in, get up to $5,500 off an Equinox LT, up to $7,000 off a Blazer RS, or up to $9,000 off the Silverado RST. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Varina. Together, let's drive.
If you see me stopped in the McDonald's drive-thru, just staring at the menu with my "what should I order" face, don't interrupt. It's the most important decision I'll make all day.
Enjoy savings every day when you get a McDouble, McChicken, and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus, get any size Dr. Pepper for just $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Valid for product of equal or lesser value. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Hi, it's Jonathan Cotton with the Good Feet Store. And when you think of high-impact professionals in our community, who comes to mind? For me, nurses are right at the top of the list, given their care for my loved ones over the years. At the Good Feet Store, we often engage with nurses who are battling with pain in their feet, knees, and back, and they come to the Good Feet Store looking for relief. Here is Donna, a nurse sharing her story of what she experienced after visiting the Good Feet Store.
Oh, I have to tell you, I have struggled with pain in my feet. I was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis. With the 3-step program, it really fits to your lifestyle. I'm a registered nurse, so being on my feet, walking throughout the hospital during the day, I am free from any type of pain. And after working a 12-hour shift, I go home and my feet do not hurt.
Whether you're a nurse or anyone wanting to enjoy your career without your feet getting in the way, come see us at the Good Feet Store. The Good Feet Store is in Raleigh, Chapel Hill, Fayetteville, and other locations across North Carolina. Visit goodfeet.com to book your appointment today, or just stop by.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The chase for the cup is on, and if you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame money line bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's TIMD with no spaces. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TIMD only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bets limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Time to play the numbers game. Sam Hunt is bringing the Summer Heat to Coastal Credit Union Music Park on Saturday, July 27th for the Locked Up Tour with special guests Russell Dickerson and George Burge. Tonight we have 2 different events. We have the Canes Game 3 against the Islanders. We also have the NFL Draft. So the question to see who gets to go first will simply be this. We'll go draft with it.
Okay.
Jake and Raleigh, you're up first. What is going to be the biggest story of the first round of the NFL Draft?
Caleb Williams will not get drafted number 1 overall.
Ooh.
It'll be Drake Maye.
Oh, okay.
Spicy. I hot out the gate. Tyler and Raleigh, same question to you. What's going to be the story of the first round of the draft?
I think J.J. McCarthy gets drafted before Drake Maye.
Both are spicy.
Both involving Drake Maye.
Yeah. And I mean, I do tend to lean local on these answers, so the one that benefits Drake Maye, which would be him going to Chicago with the 1, that person gets to go first. But both fantastic answers. I like the hot takes.
Great answers.
Those are, when we do bold predictions, they both get bells right out the gate. Those are bold enough. Jake and Raleigh, you get to go first. Are you there and ready?
Yep.
All right. The way this works is you got to pick a category. We have NFL All Volunteers. Those are all players that played their college ball at Tennessee. NFL Notre Dame alums, same thing but with Notre Dame. NBA Current Players Only, and NHL Canes and Whalers Only.
Let me go NFL Notre Dame.
All right. All of these players played their college ball at Notre Dame. I will give you the team and the player. You give me their jersey number. Those are their NFL jersey numbers for the team mentioned. There's 30 seconds on the clock, so go fast. You have 1 pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
No, sir.
All right. Your time starts when you hear the horn. Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers.
8.
Incorrect. Jerome Bettis, Pittsburgh Steelers.
36.
Correct. Kyle Rudolph, Minnesota Vikings.
86.
Incorrect. Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers.
12.
Incorrect. Kyle Rudolph, Minnesota Vikings.
87.
Incorrect. Joe Montana, San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, God. Pass.
Cole Kmet, Chicago Bears.
83.
That was incorrect. Not sure if it would have counted anyway, but incorrect. You got Jerome Bettis with 36. I'm sure there's a decent amount of people in their car screaming 16 at you for Joe Montana.
Yeah, brain hurt.
It happens to the best of us. Kyle Rudolph, 82. You were dancing around it with a whole bunch of 80s. And Cole Kmet, which you gave a run at with 83, actually wore number 85. So you did get one. You're the leader in the clubhouse. Tie goes to you. Sit on the line. We'll see if it holds up.
Okay.
That brings us to Tyler and Raleigh. Tyler, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you are NFL All Volunteers. That's all Tennessee players that played in Tennessee in college. NBA Current Players Only, and NHL Canes and Whalers Only.
I'll go NFL Tennessee.
All right. All players that played their college ball for the Tennessee Volunteers. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You have a pass if you need it. You need to get 2 to win. Any last-second questions?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Peyton Manning, Indianapolis Colts.
18.
Correct. Jason Witten, Dallas Cowboys.
88.
Incorrect. Jamal Lewis, Baltimore Colts.
24.
Incorrect. Jason Witten, Dallas Cowboys.
22.
Correct. Travis Henry, Buffalo Bills.
24.
Incorrect. Jamal Lewis, Baltimore Colts.
21.
Incorrect. Travis Henry, Buffalo Bills.
44.
Incorrect. Jamal Lewis, Baltimore Colts.
31.
Correct. Snuck in Jamal Lewis right before the buzzer. You got Peyton Manning with 18. You got Jason Witten with 82. You got Jamal Lewis with 31. Travis Henry, you did not get. That is number 20. However, the 3 is good enough for the win, so congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, one more follow-up to your answer before. What makes you think J.J. McCarthy goes before Drake Maye?
Honestly, I don't. I just had to come up with something on the spot.
You know what? Honesty is an excellent quality.
I respect
Go ahead and sit on the line, and Dennis will make sure you get your tickets. That's fantastic. Just a little bit of well, I don't believe it. You'd be surprised how many people in sports media have a similar reason for their hot takes and then just dig in a little bit harder than our contestant did there, which they might go, well, the reason why is because blah, 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 blah. When in actuality, they're like, nah, I think Drake Maye goes first. By the way, Drake Maye, he did tell the media that he wouldn't be surprised if he falls out of the top 3. Now, that is probably just media coaching because you'd feel really ridiculous if you said, no, there's no way I'm falling out of the top 3, and then you fall out of the top 3. But at least he's thought about the possibility. You're always worried on draft day when you have these quarterbacks that are expected to go near the top, that they tumble like Aaron Rodgers or, Geno Smith, Johnny Manziel, just the guys that are in the green room so much longer than everybody else. Will Levis last year. I actually read there's a book coming out on Aaron Rodgers, and there was the author tweeted out a story. When Aaron Rodgers fell to whatever it was, 24, and was in the running to be the number 1 overall pick. Their safe spot was number 5 to Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was picking number 5 overall, and it was John Gruden in that group in Tampa Bay. And that's where Rodgers was like, hey, if I don't go number 1, 5 is where I'll fall. And the night before the draft, Gruden called the agent of Rodgers and said, hey, just so you know, we're not taking you number 5 if he's there. And the agent actually apologized to Aaron Rodgers, saying, this could be a long day for you. I have no idea where you're going to get drafted, and normally I do. I'm sorry. And then he ended up falling to 24. You know who the Bucks took with that 5th pick?
Who was that?
Cadillac Williams, the running back from Auburn.
That's right, because he and Ronnie Brown were like a 1-2 punch at Auburn. They went back-to-back, didn't they?
I think number 2 and number 5 in that
Okay,
draft.
they're both top 5.
Yep, and Aaron Rodgers is going into, his 20th year in the league? I think Cadillac made it 6. So
Cadillac broke down.
No, but the Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9. There it is. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9. The Fan. Dennis, who just gave you that wonderful joke, has something else for you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free of credit cards, car loan, personal loans, 100% debt-free. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes with almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle. You can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your other loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money for a home improvement project. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. So call now, 919-381-1760, 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Call 919-381-1760, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's draft some cookies.
Oh, yes.
Think about what that means. We're mixing the draft, we're mixing the Canes game tonight, and we're mixing cookies all together for the next segment. Stick around.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop. Introducing Bojangles' new Bird Dog, a seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supreme, dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all on a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or a 2 Bird Dog combo for just $8. Hurry, Bo's Bird Dogs are available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Having pain like that and not knowing how you caused it and for how long it's lasting, it's debilitating.
QC Kinetics patient Diane Richardson hated not being able to live her life to the fullest due to joint pain. But then she called QC Kinetics, where regenerative treatments helped her pain go away.
The result was phenomenal.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using natural biologics to restore and repair damaged joint tissue.
This was a great alternative for me as opposed to going in and possibly having surgery or something else. There was no downtime, and that's what I loved. My life is too busy for me to be sidelined.
If you're tired of constant pain from arthritis or injury, don't think the old treatments are the only treatments. Discover regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics.
Just to feel good and know that I'm out of pain is the best thing ever. I'm able to do everything that I want to do.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
We're with Kevin of Fairway Green. What are most people looking for you to do for them?
Our customers are looking for us to use the best, safest products possible to get the best results, as weed-free as possible, the best color possible. And of course, if they have trouble areas or disease issues, we can definitely help them out there.
And you really know the grasses in this area.
We've been serving the Carolinas and only the Carolinas since 1989.
Nobody beats a Fairway Green lawn. Get started now. Go to fairwaygreen.com or call 919-329-0095.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Ford connected the performance of a sports car with the thrill of an EV to create a pony tuned for exhilaration, engineered to give you an extra jolt of adrenaline. Feel something electric. The 2024 Mustang Mach-E SUV. Test drive one today at your Carolina Ford dealer. Available at Ford EV certified dealers only.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. You guys do so many things: windows, doors, siding, gutters, awnings, roofing.
Roofing is the most important part of your home. You want to make sure you keep the water out. Our roofing products, made by Certainty, the shingle roofing, it comes in a lot of different colors, a lot of different styles, but it has a 50-year, 5-star warranty on all material and labor, backed by the manufacturer. It's non-prorated.
I've never heard of a 50-year warranty. I always hear like 20 or 30.
Unless a tree hits the house or you have some storm damage, it'll be the last roof you ever put on your home.
I like that. What about metal roofing?
We do a lot of metal roofing. We got the standing seam, comes in a lot of different colors, and it'll last forever, but it doesn't have the 50-year warranty like the shingled roofing does.
Sounds like you're pushing shingle roofing, which you should, probably.
It's affordable, and again, it's hard to beat because it's really the last roof you'll have to pay to put on your home.
Dallas Rhule from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
Train Heating and Cooling Systems present this hour here of The Drive. Get a great deal this spring on a new Train Heating and Cooling System. Train systems are engineered to keep up with you. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent Train dealer and learn more. It's hard to stop a train.
I'd have to say April 25th because it's not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket.
That from the cinematic masterpiece Miss Congeniality, which I believe spurned multiple sequels. So
I know at least one.
Miss Congeniality.
It's a perfect day.
We thought we'd have some fun quickly here at the end of the show. We're going to mix the draft and the Canes together like we did earlier. Only this time we're throwing in like some morsels, some nougat, some cookies.
Yes.
So,
because you know what, lean into it.
Why not? Dennis, I think you're better at explaining this one. Go ahead.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna lean into the old sports radio bit of we're gonna draft something, something fun, something everyone enjoys. Store-bought cookies. We're talking your Chips Ahoy's, your Oreos, those kinds of things. But here's the thing: we have to make comparisons for the cookies that we draft to current Carolina Hurricanes players. And our goal, Tim and I's objective here, is to create a full lineup on the ice. So 3 forwards, 2 defensemen. So you got to complete your team. We're going to leave goalies out of this one because there's really only 2 to choose from.
Spencer Martin doesn't get a cookie. Anyway, who gets to go first?
Well, I drafted first in our first matchup earlier, so I'll let you draft first. We'll do snake draft again.
Okay. So do I pick am I, like, when I announce this, am I picking the cookie or the player first?
Cookie, and then give the player comp.
All right. First pick. I don't even know if this is a cookie technically, so let's start hot.
Oh.
Teddy Grahams.
You go Teddy Grahams first? Okay.
Teddy Grahams first,
okay.
And the player comp is Seth Jarvis. Because they seem young. He's young. They're small. He's undersized. You can eat a billion of them, which I appreciate. They're tasty. They come in multiple different flavors. They got a variety. Teddy Grahams.
Okay, Teddy Grahams. Okay, all right. I'm gonna get a steal. I'm racing up to the draft table right now. Give me double stuffed Oreos, the king of all. Double stuffed Oreos or Sebastian Aho.
See, I didn't even have double stuffed Oreos as Aho.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I have double stuffed Oreos as Sebastian Aho because here's the thing: they're reliable. Every time you get double stuffed Oreos, you know exactly what you're getting. Reliable. And they're the best, and they're the leader in the clubhouse. That's why Aho is the leader points. Give me double stuffed Oreos for my first pick.
Next up. Oh, no, it's your pick.
We're snake drafting.
We're snake
drafting.
That's fine. I need to erase the ones you've taken.
I got a consistent one here that I'm going to go with. The original, just classic Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies.
That's what I had for Aho.
Okay. Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookies, to me, that is Jake Gensel. Because they always gets the job done. And here's the thing. Chocolate chip cookies are the best cookie of all time overall. But chocolate chip cookies, Jake Gensel gets it done when it counts, like he does in the playoffs. Give me Jake Gensel, player comp, Chips Ahoy.
Jake Gensel, I want to, because I put into work into what these things were.
Mm-hmm.
I had Chewy Chips Ahoy confetti cake because I literally just typed in latest, like newest release cookie.
Okay.
And that came out at the end of 2023. It's a brand new one. And I was like, he just got here.
That means you can still have that on your board. Well, I guess you have to, unless you attach it to
I'd have to attach it to someone else, and nobody else is as new as Gensel. I could put it on maybe Kuzi, but I have a different one for him. So my 2 picks, I'm going to round out my forwards. Give me Andrei Svechnikov, a.k.a. Keebler Fudge Stripes Cookies.
Oh, that's a good pick. They're
They're delicious cookie. They're versatile. They're filling. They do it all. But also, if you've ever, eaten them as a kid, you automatically put them on your fingers, and they break easily.
Yeah.
So, Andrei Svechnikov.
Okay.
Right? They snap.
Those are darn good cookies.
They are
Let's
delicious.
be honest here.
And then give me Jordan Stahl. He is Barnum Animal Crackers.
Oh, okay. Just classic animal crackers.
They're old school. They seem like they're from a previous era, but they're underrated and still delicious.
Okay. I'm actually going to go a defenseman here on this one. Speaking of a classic timely piece that still is good, even after all these years, Famous Amos.
Oh, yeah.
Brent Burns.
Yep.
Brent Burns. Famous Amos for me.
Burns was my Oreos.
Okay.
Been around forever. Always get the job done. Oreos.
All right. Now I'm gonna see. Now I have to shift focus here.
You need one more of each, right?
I do. I need one more forward. I need one more defenseman. I'm actually gonna go with the Keebler double stuffed fudge cookies. That's going to be Jacob Slavin for me. Because it's Keebler fudge cookies, like just the classic with just the Keebler elves. Like
you throw them in the freezer?
You can if you want to. But I'm going with the double stuffed version because double stuffed version is better than just the generic normal, and that's where Jacob Slavin comes in. People might overlook him when they look at the cookies. Often overlooked are the Keebler fudge, the originals. But you go double stuffed, that's Jacob Slavin.
All right, so Slavin's gone. All right. I can I ask for one clarification from the official?
Sure.
Is a Girl Scout cookie a store-bought cookie?
Yeah, because you buy it outside the grocery store. I'll go with it. I'll accept this one.
Perfect. In that case, to round out my defense, I want Brady Shea with Thin Mints.
Shea with Thin Mints. Okay.
Because you don't think of them often except for that one time a year, but as soon as you do think of it, you're like, oh yeah, Thin Mints, delicious. Now Now I need one more defense.
Yeah, so you need another defenseman here because you've rounded out all your forwards so far.
I'm good. I'm happy with
you have
the way
Stahl,
this is.
Svetch, and Jarvis. That's a solid line.
Yes,
with Shea. That's good.
And I'm going with Jalen Chatfield, who is Voortman orange cream wafer sandwiches. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They're super lightweight. They're like a wafer with the cream in the middle. It's like 3 stacks.
Okay.
I feel like they're only at like your aunt's house and your grandma's house. But I had to look up what they were. They're called Voortman orange cream wafer sandwiches. And I was just trying to think of the most underrated cookie that you can buy in stores. And that was what popped into my brain. I think Jalen Chatfield is way underrated. So there you go. Voortman orange cream wafer sandwiches. I don't think I've had one in like 15 years, but it's underrated, and I'm happy with that.
Okay. To round things off, I need something. See, there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of good ones out there.
I like my hockey lineup, my cookie lineup. Little to be desired.
You're a little lacking here. Because I can still go Nilla wafers. I can still go Nutter Butters. Like I
had Nutter Butters assigned to somebody.
Who'd you have it assigned to? Curious.
Evgeny Kuznetsov.
Kuznetsov.
He's just a little Nutter Butter.
To me, I'm gonna go Nilla wafers.
I had Nilla wafers assigned to somebody.
They're pretty straightforward. Jordan Martinook. Martinook, straightforward style of play. That kind of rounds out, gives me the physicality I need in my lineup. But Nilla wafers, straightforward, kind of down the middle. Give me Jordan Martinook to round out my lineup.
I had
with Nilla wafers.
Nilla wafers for Jack Drury because it feels like when Harvard kids really splurge, when they get a little crazy, they like pass around a box of Nilla wafers.
Some peanut butter on here, guys. So there it is.
There it is. That was fun.
So I had double stuffed Oreos, just classic Chips Ahoy, Nilla wafers, Famous Amos, and Keeler Fudge double stuffed. That's a pretty damn good cookie lineup.
Still, I had Pepperidge Farm Milanos, but I didn't know who I was going to assign them to. I just liked those cookies.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it for.
I'm not gonna lie, I did have Teddy Grahams, like the honey flavor Teddy Grahams were on my big board. On my top 10.
Teddy Grahams. The drive with Tim Donnelly.
I also had Jarvis assigned.
They really? That's
yeah,
funny.
I did.
The drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have Overdrive coming up next, and we're talking Canes. We're talking about putting the Islanders out of their misery and ending the first series of the playoffs tonight. Even though you need 4 games to do it technically, you can spiritually and emotionally do it tonight on Long Island.
Destroy their hopes and dreams.
You're going to hear a lot of that coming up to start Overdrive because we had the conversation earlier, and we're going to play it again. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Tell your friends about it. Like and comment. We'll see you tomorrow at 3. Until then, have a great night, everybody. Enjoy Overdrive.
The Canes are back in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's Game 3.